Hello, Chrono Collective. Welcome back to the second event that I am hosting at the moment. It's a pleasure to see some of you guys back, and for you guys that are new, welcome. And today we're going to be showing off some of our lovely members' collections, as you probably read from the announcements and everything. So I don't have mine here, unfortunately, today. Although I can quickly show you on camera, I'm wearing my GMT, my Tudor Black Bay GMT, which I am loving at the moment. It's my daily wearer. And to be honest, from now on, I guess I'm just going to be handing this over to all of you guys, really, to present your collection. So, Cole, whenever you're ready, we can go with you.
Yeah, I mean, I will just like to say first, you guys can earn tickets on this by asking questions at someone's turn. And yeah, so I am gonna just take these watches out and kind of reveal them one at a time. I have a big box of them, so I'm not gonna show the whole box at the start. All right. So the first one is my Rolex 6694. It's an older watch, and I'm showing this one first because I really don't have a story about it. I love the look of these, and I kind of have this obsession with this model because it's cheap, like genuinely around like 2000 a watch. So I have this one and a black dial one, but I'm not showing the black one today.
Yeah,
So
they're good value,
this is
though.
this one. Yeah, value wise, I think they're the best you can kind of go for Rolex. They look modern, they're older, look modern, cheaper service, and yeah.
They look good.
All right. The second one we got, I actually got this from a lady that got divorced. She, so it was non-working. I was gonna pay for a service, and I went down to my jeweler's the other day, and we just uh we got it working and didn't have to pay like $500 for the service. It's working great. Uh, it's all original factory. I have the box with it, everything, and got this one at a really good price too. The lady uh, was selling a ton of her designer stuff, watches, whatever. I could have got some Louis Vuitton bags and stuff like that, but I decided just on the Rolex.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's
Sorry,
absolutely beautiful.
it's taking me some time to take them out of these boxes. Okay. Um, Next up, we just got this Omega Genève that is actually gonna be one of the Omegas people can choose from. So I wanted to bring this one out today to show people one of their options.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a very, I mean, there's definitely some aging on the bottom. I'm not sure how focused things are, but
I mean, it's I can lift it further back a bit. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, I can
yeah,
see a
so
little bit of
that's one of them.
aging. It's in pretty good condition, though.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. So this next one is probably, my go-to watch if I'm out. And I have three of these, so you guys probably know what's coming. It's the
No way.
proud to be Tech Omega. You
Never would
know,
have guessed.
I I love everything about this watch. There's really nothing more to say about it. It was commissioned by the state of Texas, all made by Omega, and they're hard to find on the market. I've picked up three of them now, and you know, little shitty quartz watch, but they're cool.
Yeah, it's
I
cool as
collect a
hell.
lot of rare dials, and this thing just popped out to me, and I thought, why not?
Yeah, the bracelet looks really comfy as well, with like that sort of Jubilee style. I know it's not a Jubilee, but like the 5 link.
Oh shoot, hold up. I put this one in the box wrong. Give me one sec. That's the issue. I've never really used a watch box that much, so I don't really know how to do things.
Yeah, I mean, when I got mine about a year ago, it's still difficult for me because you're constantly like, it's also like arranging them and making sure they're not like tilted in any way, so they all look half decent when you open the box and they're just like jumbled around.
All right. Next up, we got one that a lot of people hate. So this one doesn't have a second hand. It doesn't come with it at all. It's a very strange Hamilton. And
Yeah.
I picked this thing up for $75. The market on these are around like 3 to 500. So I did pretty good on it. And let me show the case back of it. It has
The
some
crown.
writing on it.
I was about to say the crown's in a really, really weird place.
Yeah, it's an awkward watch. So I mean, it's a I'm trying to show, but this is like a little bit curved. It's like a little skateboard ramp almost. And
Ah,
on the back
yes.
it says JG. So it's a little bit weird. So it's like a little semicircle almost.
Does that affect the wearability
And
of it at all?
here, I'll put it on my wrist to kind of show what it's like.
Yeah, it's really funky. Like I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, there's not that
It,
many on the marketplaces, but
is it made to curve with the curve of your wrist so it kind of fits
yes,
tightly? Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a cool one. I enjoy it. It
Yeah,
looks
it's
It's
like something
not
cartoon would do.
it's not uncommon for dress watches like that to not have a seconds hand. That's actually kind of a common thing.
Oh yeah. I just personally don't like that it has no subset.
it's
Uh,
quite funny that the sort of bits where the strap attaches to, they almost look like handlebars, like strap handlebars.
oh yeah. So it's one of my favorites though. It's actually one that I've been wearing a bit and you know, huge fan of it.
Yeah, it's really comfy. I
So
mean, I assume because of the weight, it's probably because of the size, it's probably quite light.
yeah, it's very light. All right. So this next one was actually my dad's first luxury watch that he bought himself. He bought it when he graduated high school and or not graduated high school. Got his oh my god. Sorry, it was when he got his first real job, not graduated high school. It was when he got
Right.
his first real job. Sorry. There's a different watch that he got when he graduated high school. It's the other one I'm going to show. My bad. A little bit of a mix up, but it's a
Yeah.
Formula One quartz. I just found out I need to get its battery changed, and I found out today I have lifetime warranty on the battery. It still has. You can see where it was bought in 2005.
Gosh, that's nearly 10
Got
years
the
ago.
manual. It's gross, sticky, whatever, but they just kind of made those gross.
Yeah. W. Cole's dad, indeed, Bobber.
My next one we got is actually one of my recent favorites that I've picked up. I like it more than a lot of my Rolexes and whatnot. It's this linen dial Omega. I just think it looks very fucking good on my wrist, and I am super pleased with it. I paid $400 for this one, and you know, can't complain at all.
Yeah, that Lindell's beautiful.
I mean, I'll put this one on my wrist too, just because I like how it looks. I've probably posted it in the server about 10 times now, so it's seen a lot.
Yeah. Honestly, I love the Lindell. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Like,
And then this is the original price for that Formula One.
$850. How much would that be in like kind of today's money? I'm not sure. Would it be maybe be over 1,000
I,
probably?
I think they're like $1,300 now.
Okay, all right.
So like a $500. But that watch I could probably only go sell on a marketplace for 400 or 500. Not much at all.
Yeah, not too much. Yeah, but I mean, it's sentimental though, so I don't know, I would never like try and sell it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the
Yeah,
watch
stunning.
on. I mean, I just love it.
It's just so clean. There's not really too much to dislike about it either, which is nice.
We're coming to the end of the collection. We got two more. So,
Coming to the end. Oh,
well, not end of the collection. I'm kind of saving a lot of stuff so I can do interesting stuff every year when we do this. Can't just show the same collection every single year. And
yeah. I mean, next time I'll make sure to have my collection around as well.
hosting the event, not even having it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my collection's not too. The only other watch that people would kind of probably want to see would be the PRX, and I mean, there's a bit of a story behind that. I got that as I just got my job, as like a kind of, I don't know, like a congratulations to myself, I guess that I got it. So I mean, there's that watch that means quite a bit to me, and then there's my Tudor. But most of the others are just random ones that I bought either online or I got a few. I got an F91W and a few Casios and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
King, the Casio Master Race.
all right. So I just had to wind this up and get it running again. But
oh,
one
that's
of my
beautiful.
favorite brands. Um, I sadly did not find my great uncle's one before getting on my flight leaving for or from Costa Rica. So I wasn't able to bring the sentimental one, but I've posted it a lot in the server. I'll bring it next time, but I was a little bit bummed out I couldn't bring it. So this is second best. It looks exactly the same almost. Besides the model's different. It's a Master Mariner.
Right, yeah,
So I collect a lot of these. My grail that I'm going for this vintage brand is the mystery dial. And uh, shared movement with Vacheron. So it's signed Vacheron and Lake Culture. So it's a very cool one.
yeah, lovely.
They're around like $2,000, and I saw one get sold for 500. I punched myself every day for it, and
Oh man,
I don't want to spend 2,000 when I've seen it sold for 500 before,
I had
but
a
I don't
similar
think it's
thing as well. You know the American Psycho Seiko that he wore that people think is a Datejust. I was in an auction with one of those and I could have got it for £40, or like about what $45-50, and they're selling for about way over 200-300 now. I'm kicking myself. I didn't bid a bit more.
yeah, it happens. One of my biggest regrets was I saw the listing for the mystery dial and I just lowballed them. I don't know why I lowballed them. I should have just bought it. It was a good price, but
Yeah.
Because you can't resist lowballing.
I mean, hey, it's life. It
see,
happens.
I mean, every watch I'm going to show you guys is something I've gotten way below or what it's going for in the secondary. Like that mother of pearl is like around $4,000, $5,000 watch. And I bought it as not running, so I paid $2,000, and uh, I was gonna go service it, which would have cost like 700, probably around, and you know, it ended up working, and can't complain at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get lucky sometimes. It does go to show you if you look around, you can find some good deals, but just always stick to the saying if it's too good to be true, then it probably is.
Yeah. So We got
Check
the
my
last
server and go in
watch
the
up.
the
It is
chat.
the
I recorded it.
watch my dad bought himself. This
Yeah,
was
so
the
fun.
first watch he bought
You going
himself.
on that?
So,
No,
uh,
oh fuck! I need to join.
not
Where's
the
your server?
other one.
It's
Surprisingly, still running. I
that
actually
one. That one. The picture.
don't think.
Go to chat. Look at what they've just let him do. Go scrolling
Isn't it?
down.
I think it's a
What
quartz.
happened to cookbook?
Bloody hell.
Right, sorry, I
Yeah,
forgot.
I think it has to be quartz.
That's fine, yeah.
But I've never changed its battery.
Oh,
And
yeah.
somehow still running. Don't know how that's happening.
They've had
But
a good trip, to be fair.
Yeah.
it's got a nice patina where like the loom would be.
Yeah, it's
And,
lovely, yeah.
I mean, you know, some of the gold's coming off. You can kind of tell. But overall, one of my favorites. It's a little short right now, so it doesn't fit on my wrist. But I have all the links.
Oh, I love it though. I love like the patina on it is beautiful. Like the way that the gold is like aged over time, or like if it is true gold, I don't know. It looks so warm.
It's just uh
Maybe that's the way it came from factory. I don't know.
yeah, it's it's a weird watch. I actually want to find out what he paid for it because I know we have receipts for a lot of bigger purchases he made. So I'm thinking I'll be able to find it one day, but I
Yeah.
assume it wasn't that much money.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
And yeah, that's my collection.
Right. Well.
Well, 10 out of 350. We got more to show next time.
Oh yeah,
It's just
looks like we're
I would
gonna.
be here for like 6 hours showing you guys my watches if I had to show everything.
Yeah, Chrono Collections episode 20, Coal Pot, fucking 27.
Oh
Does
god.
anyone have questions for Cole based on his
Yeah.
collection?
Anyone have any questions?
Oh, Cole, we need to see the box. You need to show that box off, boy.
Well, the box is gonna get changed a little.
True.
True. Maybe a little sneak peek.
Like a little suitcase.
Yeah.
Hold up. Can't do
Conan
it with
asks, why did you get the Omegas when you're not a native Texan? Texas, being a Texan is a state of mind, not a geographical entity.
A TX state of mind.
so you know, I just collect weird dials. I really didn't care about the Texan thing. If they made it for a bunch of other states, I would have got all of them. They only made it for Texas though. It's a cool little part of history. I don't think Omega's ever gonna do anything like that again. So it just feels like I don't know. Good purchase. And the market right now, I mean, I looked like 3 weeks ago. I look every few weeks or so. If you look at the market, I paid around less than 500 a watch, let's say.
Yeah.
And they're going for like 2,000 plus. That's what everything's listed for. There's like 3 listings. And I snag anything under 1,000. Any of those that I'm going to find under 1,000, I'll buy. I know there's not many out there, but you know, they're cool. And
Indeed.
Quig, your question, there's nothing wrong with it. It I get the lady just had no idea about watches. It was some lady who just got divorced. She wanted rid of everything her husband bought her, and she needed money to pay off her school loans. And you know, it came with box, everything. Uh, the papers are supposed to be getting sent to me pretty soon. I actually was very surprised that it was all real. I got it checked. What was it? I got it checked like 3 days after I bought it, 2 days after I arrived, and like everything was good. It's an older model. They didn't know the exact year, but it was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Right.
All right. Are we ready to move on to our next?
Foremost, one thing from Pipes who's just come in last minute is Cole. If you were to make your own watch brand, what movement would you use and why?
I I wouldn't. I'm honestly not really too sure. I don't really care about many movements in watches. I'm more of looks kind of it
Yeah, the
guy for the
aesthetic.
watch. I mean, I like jewelry. I wear a lot of jewelry. Like this was my dad's ring, but I got added diamonds to it that were my grandma's engagement ring.
Very cool.
And then I don't know. I like jewelry. I am getting some pendants made and whatnot. So watches are just jewelry to me, I guess. I, I mean, I want my watch to be running, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's more of like an accessory rather than like a
Yeah, and
yeah.
a lot of them, to me, like I know it's not a good way to think about watches, but like, you know, I have 315 so watches, and I'm gonna be selling some of them off, and I'm gonna keep a big collection. Like right now, I have probably 60 watches that I would never sell, and I just wanted to cut the size down just because there's a lot of like watches in there that I don't need and I don't really like, and I'm not really gonna wear. So why have them? So
Yeah,
I'm gonna sell them and buy some stuff that I really like. You know,
exactly. That makes
uh,
sense. And I mean,
a
end
big
of the
thing
day,
to me is value. I mean, value with anything in my life is very important. I mean, I want to make sure, like, I would never probably buy a car brand new just because of the like. I buy a car brand new and lose 5,000 when I drive it out the door. It's not,
it doesn't
to
make
go
sense.
about
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, sorry, Pipes. I wish I had an answer for you. Probably someone else in here does.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
know a lot more people are movement types of people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if that question comes, I mean, if Pipes, if you ask that question again when specifically Quixter comes on, he was a watchmaker in our last event, and I'm sure he'd be able to give you a really good answer for that.
All right, well, thank you all for looking at my collection.
Of course, yeah. Love it, Cole.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it, yeah. So next up is Greed. Greed, can you put your hand up and we'll pull you in?
There we go.
Hello. Make sure I'm on the right camera. There we go. Look at that.
There we go. Lovely. How you doing tonight, Greed?
Absolutely
Oh wait,
perfect.
hold up. Let me say one more thing.
Dog.
Remember the collections that you guys look at because we're gonna do a vote at the end to see which one you guys like the most.
Indeed, exactly. Keep an eye.
Alrighty then.
So, Greed.
Good
How you doing tonight?
day. Doing all right. Not too bad. I had a call with a friend of mine. I'm gonna be visiting him relatively soon, somewhere next year though. So I'll take a while.
Lovely,
I
good
just
news.
put on a nice whiskey.
Beautiful. Hibiki, yeah. Oh, I remember you telling me about it. I still need to try it.
It is an insanely good whiskey for those that haven't tried it yet. It is relatively soft, so anyone can reasonably get in with it. Compared to some of my single malts, those are a lot harsher.
Indeed,
And
they
they'll
are.
continue to be. Some of y'all might know me as that one photography dude that posts pretty pictures of watches. That'd be me. And I'm
Indeed, it
here to
is.
talk about my own collection. I've got 7 for y'all, and I'm going to start off with my daily. My daily is a little bit of a special watch for me, mainly because it's my first mechanical watch with an automatic movement. My ever first one I got after moving to Amsterdam. Because I live in Amsterdam, I work as a photographer full time there, doing guitars and doing sales for guitars as well. And
Amazing.
this is basically what I wear. Give it a second to focus. There we go.
Beautiful.
This is my Hamilton khaki field automatic on a silver pipe and dial with open case back.
Yeah, I love open case backs.
So I've done a few things. I've gotten a different strap. So this is a Deluxe. It's a Deluxe rubber strap because I ride my motorcycle every day, and I need something that's sturdy and it's not as flimsy as something like suede. I do like suede on this watch. Works very well. It's just that this, with the butterfly clasp, is just one of the most sturdy straps I've ever gotten my hands on. The
That
rubber's
also,
not
I'm
as
assuming,
soft as...
because it's rubber. It's probably good
Yeah.
for like weatherability as well.
Yes,
D-Lugs
exactly.
D-Lugs makes good shit too. Their stuff is expensive, like compared to like some other stuff you see, but it's solid. And that's one of their FKM CTS straps, right? The cut to size ones.
Yes, so this is one of those.
Yeah, those are
This is a
nice.
cut to size, yeah. So I personally picked this one over any of the other ones purely because of that dial. Just look at the sunburst on that, basically. Yeah, this is my daily for almost everything. It's got 100 meters of water resistance. It wears like a dream at 38 millimeters. And it's just extremely resilient. Then next up, we're gonna go to my very first ever reasonably serious watch that I ever got. And it is basically my absolute first watch. And it is a Seiko chronograph in titanium.
Lovely.
It's probably one of my most beat up watches that I have. And it is insanely nice and light. The titanium is just insane. As you can see, it is worn to shit. It is absolutely worn to shit. But that's because I've worn this thing almost every day until I broke the bracelet. And then when I moved here, I fixed the bracelet. But then I got this. And this is a lot more. This is a lot more value for money for me than this is.
Yeah, yeah. I love the dial on that.
It's an insanely nice dark gray finish with of course, a fully working chronograph for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
And there we go.
Looks great.
Then next up, I've got a few more. Let's go through my Casios first. Because I have a few Casios just because they're great watches to verify or have a varied collection. One of my favorites.
Yeah, brother.
One of my favorites from Casio. I haven't gotten this one yet to size, so I still have to size it correctly for my wrist. But it's will always be one of my favorites, and it is the roll timer.
Love it.
This will always be a decent watch for anyone to get. I don't care who you are. This, if it focuses, Jesus fucking Christ. There we go. That's more like it. There we go. It's a roll timer. I know the time is wrong. Don't worry about it. It's 22:30 for me right now. Give me a break. It's a roll timer. I haven't gotten this one sized yet, so this one is massive right now to a point where even on my right, which is a little bit beefier for obvious reasons, that's still a lot of space. I need to remove a few links.
Is yours stock, or have you done any mods to it?
It's fully stock. Just like my next one, which is a G-Shock. Just a standard G-Shock. With the blue.
2100.
With the blue accents.
Yeah.
It's a classic. You cannot go wrong with any of this. Now let's get into some of my more special watches. So this year I went to LA for the first time to meet with a few of my friends there.
Lovely.
And one of the guys there owns a few Richard Mille's, and that was the first time I was ever able to be in contact with Richard Mille watches. And to be honest, they may look like a McDonald's Happy Meal for most of y'all. But if you've never been in the same room or never got the chance to wear one, you should. This is the reason why I got myself one of these.
Beautiful.
A saw bomba with a carbon fiber top bezel case on a steel case on the back. Automatic, as always. Also, one of the most sturdy watches I ever got. It's insanely heavy as well. Automatic movement. I think it's a Celica.
I will say I tried on Richard Mille in LA too.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the most comfortable watches I have ever worn.
Yeah.
I know, right?
We showed me the great.
Yeah.
I've tried one as well. They're quite bulky on like on the top, but I really like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. If you want to go less bulky, there are ratio mills that are less bulky, like the 7201 as well as the 6701 and 6702. So don't worry, not all of them are bulky. Then next up is probably going to be my most extravagant watch that I have, because I have a lot of rugged watches, as you've seen. So here is my dress watch. If it wants to
And it
focus.
focuses.
Come on, focus.
Just loving your mouse at the moment.
I know, right? There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. So, there we have a Shugas moon phase big date with its sparkle dial.
That's beautiful.
Very pretty.
Also, automatic movement with exhibition case back. But it's that dial that really, really draws that attention. It is a bit chunky, but that's fine. That's because of the big dates.
Indeed, yeah.
It's
How does that date work when it flips over?
So the date works. Let me see if I can get a focus on that. So the date is over here on this side to change it.
Ah.
And then if you want to change it to something else, I think right now I had it at 19. Yes. It flips over just like on a regular big date.
That's very cool.
It is very inconsistent, but that's Chinese movements for you.
I mean, it's awesome though. The entire watch is like a whole package, like with that dial. That I bet you, especially if you were like using it as a dress watch at an event or something, as soon as that light comes onto the thing, that's going to sparkle, and everyone's going to look around and be like, "Oh, what have you got?"
Yeah, exactly.
I love the perlage on the movement. Is very nice.
It is, yeah.
I also totally did not spend the past 3 minutes trying to remember the word perlage.
Well, and then for my last one, it's going to be one made by a good friend of mine in Amsterdam. He hand finishes and hand ages dials in cases. And from him, I got my Panerai homage after it focuses, of course. So this is very much a Panerai homage, like a Radiomir. But
Yes.
the lugs are different from a Radiomir and a Luminar, so it's still different. The numerals as well are different, but it's all hand aged. And the best part about these as well is that the loom still works. Let's see if I can get it to work. No, I cannot. Fuck.
It's probably too light, isn't it?
Yeah. So the loom works, and I'm absolutely surprised by that because I only found out after like half a year of owning this watch.
Yeah.
The strap also is a straight strap, so it only tapers, I think, like a millimeter from the lugs.
If you get a photo of that, by the way, I'll put it over the video when it goes up.
Yeah, I will have that for you in a second. And here's the clasp. It is very much a Panerai style clasp.
Big and chunky.
Did he say how he went about doing the aging process?
No, and I don't want to know because that's the surprising part. Because each dial is hand aged, and it's different every time.
Interesting.
And those are my watches.
Okay. Anyone have any questions?
Question
for
time, yeah.
Mr. Greed?
My Grail watch. There's a tie between my Grail watches. One of my favorite Grail watches is got to be a Vacheron Historique 1921, as well as an RM 7201, and an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore 37mm Music Edition in black ceramic.
Yes.
Those
beautiful.
three have to be my Grail watches. They are. I've been able to photograph a Vacheron Historique 1921, and it is an absolute bonkers of a watch.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Stunning.
that shows decently well, by the way.
Oh, that's the one that's like offset like 45
Yes,
degrees.
Yeah.
correct. It's the 45 degrees. And after that, we go to a music edition,
Yeah, I love the music edition personally.
black ceramic.
Very nice.
I mean, with my history, like, I absolutely love that watch.
Same here as a musician myself. And then, of course, Richard Mille. They
Wow,
will
yeah.
always have a soft spot in my heart, personally.
Have you seen with the music edition, the crown guards are designed to look a bit like faders?
Yes, as you can see here as well.
So
they're
cool.
kind of very little like a fader.
If you look at it
And
from
if I
like the
wanted to
side,
plug my...
it's amazing.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Those are probably some of my favorite watches out there. There are definitely a lot more that I really like. Say like the new Uvac UR150 Scorpion. I love that one as well, but I think I prefer the UR100V, as well as a few other ones just like that. Then there's also, of course, one of my all-time favorite more dressy style watches that are the FP Journe lines. Just can never go wrong with an FP Journe,
Yeah,
personally.
they're beautiful. It's just classic.
Yes. And, of course, one of my all-time favorites as well is just Vacheron in a nutshell. I gotta get the right one. There we go. No. There we go. Vacheron Constantin Overseas Perpetual Calendar Ultra Thin.
I have tried one of those on the same color dial, but it was rose gold, and oh my god, does that dial pop?
Here is the skeleton version in rose gold.
It's just stunning. I feel like Vacheron are very underrated in terms of everyone. A lot of people tend to be leaning towards Patek and AP. Not that they're any less, they're still great, but Vacheron are seriously underrated in my opinion.
Absolutely, and their ADs are some of the most welcome ADs you can ever find.
I've never actually been to one. I'd love to though.
You should. If you're ever in Amsterdam, I'll show you to ours, and they're extremely welcoming.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I'll take you up on that.
It's also the reason that probably one of my next watches is going to be Panerai. I'm probably going to be getting a Panerai Submersible 42 or 44. I love those guys, and the 42 and the 44 just work really well for my wrist for some reason. I don't know why. It just works.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all of it's personal preference. I mean, if you like that and you love the way it looks, then just go for it and do it.
Yeah,
they are cool watches.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've tried Panerai on before. They're decent. I don't like the ones with the big crown guards on them, but there are some nice models that Panerai makes.
Yeah. It's specifically because I don't have a diver in my collection, as you guys have probably seen. This is the main reason I want to get a submersible.
Got you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for showing your collection, Greed. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Greed.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
I'm going to move you back to the audience now.
Yeah, thank you very much, Greed.
Somebody
Lovely
already
to hear
did that.
So next
All right,
up we
Retro.
have Retro.
There we go. Your mic is still muted.
Thank you.
There we
Hi.
go. Hello, Retro. Fellow Brit. You alright, mate?
Give me a second. There we go. Right. So, basically, I'm just going to sort of take you guys through my watch collecting journey, and then everything I've seen, and then my current watch at the moment. So, I am wearing the Moonswatch. That was the watch that got me into watches. I saw it in Canon. There was no queue, and so I decided to go for it. and that got me learning about the Speedmaster. And then I requested an Amiga catalog, and I saw the Snoopy, which I fell in love with, and I'm desperately trying to convince myself I should get. And after Amiga, after the Moonswatch, one of the next things I got was this, the Blancpain watch. This is the Mission to the Moon one. Sorry, Mission to the Christ. Great question. I don't remember what it's called.
No worries.
Basically, the black one. The strap is an Artem strap, so sailcloth, and it looks great. That is the movement. If my phone will focus, there we go. So main reason I got this, I really like Blancpain, and I popped in with one of these to sort of check out their collections. I was really interested in the bathyscaphe, and they invited me to their event. I got to try that on in black ceramic, and I got a little catalogue, and it really got me into Blancpain. I think I really wanted something that would sort of commemorate that, and hopefully one of these days I'm going to pull the trigger and get a ceramic perpetual from them. But yeah, it's a great daily wear. It's 90-hour power reserve. I mean, it's a matter of if you like bioceramic or not. I don't mind it. I think it's just like a fun thing, and that's great. So after that Blancpain swatch, I started to get into sort of more niche stuff. So independence was the direction I went, and that popped me over to Christopher Ward, if you know them. So just in case you don't, British microbrand, not really a microbrand anymore, British watchmakers, and their main idea is basically sort of to make higher watchmaking a tad bit more accessible, and that led to this, the Bel Canto. If you're not familiar with it, it's a Chining sonnerie au passage for the price of a Tudor black base. So it's grade 5 titanium, sapphire, glass. Obviously, it's not their own movement. They would have put their own caliber SH21 into it, but it just didn't fit. I got this quite recently, and honestly, it's been really fun, and it's been great because every single hour I'd hear the little chime, and that's a really playful thing. And I think it was great to be able to experience this and to actually get this on my wrist. I would say if you have the opportunity to get it, absolutely pull the trigger because it's been great. I mean, they worked with Armin Strom for the movements, finishing, and a bit of, I believe they worked with MB&F a bit. So it's great. And also, fun fact, there's a little bird here with a beak that is the actual hammer for the sonnerie au passage.
This is beautiful.
So
Pipes asks, can we hear the chime? Is that possible?
let me see. Oh yeah, sorry. I actually tried this out once, and it just isn't audible. So I'm afraid you might have to go to YouTube to listen to it.
Is it probably the noise suppression and stuff? Yeah.
Discord, Chris.
But it's an awesome piece. I think I've been wearing it the most, mostly because people come up to me and ask me, "Hey, what watch is that?" And it's really great to speak to other people about it. It's a really fun piece.
That's a British brand, isn't it?
Yeah, very patriotic.
Yeah, I never really liked any of the British brands until you showed me that watch.
Yeah,
I really do like that watch.
Christopher Ward makes some amazing watches. Like I've got a friend of mine, and he's thinking of getting one of the. I don't think is it the Moon Phase. I think it is. They do a Moon Phase, and it's got like a sparkly dial.
Yeah, that's the GPHG nomination. Just in case you don't know, this won the GPHG award, Petit Aiguille. So yeah, impressive watchmaking.
Impressive.
So I get their catalogs now, and they're about to do something awesome with the balance wheel next year. So that's going to be fun. And after that, obviously, in case you don't know, I live in the UK, so next to New Bond Street, and that got me into watches. And I kept going around to smaller brands, so that pushed me towards Chopard. So before I got my next piece, I was considering their Mille Miglia. Then I found out it's an ETA movement, and that was sort of out the window. Then I popped by to Audemars Piguet quite recently, and that was really brilliant. I mean, the cell associate was impeccable. And I was wearing, when I was in that meeting with him, I was wearing a Jaeger LeCoultre. And if you do not know, I'm probably quite famous for that watch now. It is, of course, the iconic
Dun, dun, dun.
Reverso, monophase small seconds.
Beautiful.
I think it's it's a fascinating piece, really, and I had a very long think about what I want to wear and what I want my watch to project about me. I think this showed off what I needed it to. That I was sort of like, I'm not the richest watch collector, absolutely not. But I wanted something really classy. I wanted something with a lot of history. And I think it's beautiful with a blue dial as well, because in some lights it's blue, and then sometimes it turns like a very nice purple.
That's
And I
stunning.
have the mono face for security because it's London, and you don't want to get your arm chopped off. And I got a strap change, something a bit slightly more sporty, because I don't want to get leather wet. So that's my GLC. I mean, in terms of other watch brands I've gone to, it's obviously Ep.1. I talked a lot with them, and I also did pop by, mentioned previously, Richard Mille. She offered me the brand book. I must admit, this is going to be a weird thing to say, but the paper does smell incredibly low quality.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I tried them
Smells
on.
like broken here.
It was fun. It was a fun experience. She could tell I was into watchmaking. I wouldn't say they're my cup of tea. I think they're a tad bit ostentatious for my liking. But they're certainly fun and playful. And that's, I think, what the industry needs. And then GLC, a couple of events, and I got a Charbonnet et Walker caramel
See,
truffles made
they're
for them.
beautiful.
Now that's a
Yeah.
collection I like.
I mean,
So
both
that's
of
my
us.
collection. I think I am obviously looking towards the Speedy, and then after that, I think Vacheron is appealing to me. And then in terms of watches, I'd hopefully be able to get in the future this guy, the Jaeger LeCoultre minute repeater Gyro Tourbillon. So my SA brought this out for me when I picked up my Reverso, as well as the prototypes for the Reversos just released, and all of the other highest complications that they have. And that was a really awesome experience. I think it really made me fall even more in love with GLC. And I'm absolutely in the future going to get one of these. And it was a really sort of fun experience because she brought out all of them, and I also got to assemble the Reverso movement, and that was brilliant. I think from ALS, the classic, price on request, so God knows how much that is. AP, I was able to try this in their London boutique, and it was beautiful. It's the only Royal Oak I've ever truly adored. So one of these days. And the code, which I fancied quite a lot, saw this, loved it. They also showed me this code, which I absolutely adored. It is a new release. It is their Tourbillon. And that was absolutely brilliant.
Very cool.
So yeah, this is sort of my watchmaking journey at the moment. Starting with the Moon Swatch, going to Independence, and then obviously Jaeger LeCoultre. And yeah, it's been quite fun. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
They're very classy, very lovely watches.
Also, remember, if you guys are attending, questions are going to be the only way you can earn a ticket. I know some people could just come in here and just leave, so that's the one way you earn ticket.
Indeed, if you guys
Yeah.
letting
people
Thoughts on Mont Blanc? Interesting question. I saw their watches. I haven't considered that much, if I'm being honest. Like, they don't seem like sort of what I'd normally go for. I think for me, brand name also carries a bit of weight in my decisions. And so obviously the brand famous for pens, would it be ideal to have a watch from them? For me personally, probably not. But yeah, I think that they're making waves. I'm interested to see what Mont Blanc are doing. I think they're obviously doing a lot of stainless steel sports watches and divers, which aren't normally my thing. So I haven't really sort of thought about them that much. But I'm interested to see what they will be doing in terms of dress watches.
Retro, I do have a question. Who got you into watches? Did you figure it out on your own, or like family?
No, my dad was with me in south of France, and he saw it, he saw the Moonswatch sitting there, and he stopped and said, "Buy it." And this was my era when I had my Apple Watch Ultra, and I was convinced that it's utterly useless to get a mechanical watch. And then he said, "Just buy it." So I did, and then I went down the history rabbit hole. And I must admit, I'm the kind of person that falls very, very easily for history. So then, when I got a JLC Reverso book, the 200 quid one for free because my parents attended their events, then I fell in love with the Reverso, and I refused to buy anything else. Yeah, so that was the story.
Awesome. I mean, I'm a big JLC fan too.
Yeah. So, what if you had to pick one? What is your favorite watch in your collection? I would say absolutely my Reverso. I think it's absolutely the best. Was the safety in your area one of the main reasons you went for a single phase JLC? Great question. So I'm in a rather very expensive area of London. So to be honest, it wasn't necessarily area safety. It was just like, obviously, there's a lot of watch theft. Just if you're in if you're just standing at a traffic light, often they have people break into cars and stuff. So it wasn't necessarily area safety, just safety in general. Also, I think I wanted to stay really sort of true to the history of the Reverso. And I think a monoface that would allow me to personalize it was really what I would sort of go for. Yeah.
Brilliant. Also retro. So what are some of your more rugged watches? Or do you have any more rugged watches?
I don't have any more watches.
No.
Yeah, I'm a dress watch person, as you can probably tell.
I mean, unless you're like wading through the mud hills of, I don't know, Kensington or something.
So yeah, I mean, if I was considering, maybe I might get a Blancpain steel or titanium, which might be quite rugged, but who knows? What are watches you would consider getting in the future? Obviously the Snoopy. I mean, it's just so playful. I can't. I have to get it. I would think I went to Patek and I loved their classic Calatrava.
Yes, it's beautiful. I've tried
That
one
was
as
really
well.
nice. Vacheron Constantin. I think they have a semi-open work dial with a moon face that looked really, really awesome. I think. What else would I say? I am hopefully one day in the future, maybe, looking to get a Gros Forcé handmade one. What is your wrist size? That's a great question. I don't know it for a fact, but I do know I'm a card-carrying member of the Itty Bitty Wrist Committee.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, not a lot fits me, which
you're
is pretty annoying.
Around mine with like a 6.5, 7.
Yeah, it's horrible because I'm like, oh my god, I want this watch so much, and then I try it on, and I'm like, oh dear.
Dude, I have to zoom in on my wrist shots so it doesn't look like two sticks are holding up the watch.
Yeah, I mean it's annoying having small wrists, and also it's annoying because I'm slightly ambidextrous, so that means basically I use my right and left kind of in the same way. So it's always like weird for ADs whenever I ask to try something on and I stick out my right arm and there's like 30 seconds of contemplation and confusion because they have no idea what to do. So I think AD should be more trained for people who are left-handed or weird like me. Yeah.
No, not weird. Just personal preference.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Retro, it was great talking to you, man.
Thanks.
Love the collection.
Thank you.
And thank you for speaking, man.
Indeed.
Nice.
Thanks,
Bye.
Retro. Beautiful. Right.
Next, I think we got Baldy up, right?
Indeed, we do. Got Baldy up, so Baldy, put your hand up.
All right. I'm gonna do his promo for him because I know he's already gonna say it. Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. Yep, we already know. Thank you.
Guys, I thought Quickster was after Retro.
Quickster next?
Quickster was.
It
We've
is.
just switched the positions because Baldy needs to do his slot now rather than a wee bit later.
Hello and welcome to the Bald Watch Guy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Thank you for entertaining me today. How are you guys?
Awesome. I'm happy. On a lane in the backyard.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
not lane, but I was lane.
I'm having a quite nice dessert, as you can see.
Oh my god, he wore a turtleneck.
Of course, it's winter. You have to prepare for it.
Right.
All right, guys. We start with the less serious shit. The ice watch. We can throw that shit away.
Would you like us to
So
refer to you as the bald watch guy?
you can refer me as Baldy, Bald Watch Guy, that idiot, whatever you want.
Baldy baldy.
All right, let's keep this sweet and short. I started collecting in 2018. I was looking for a watch to celebrate something. I bought a Submariner then, that I also sold again. Didn't start collecting for over a year. I did my research and the hobby got way out of hand. So I'm gonna do this a little bit different. I'm not gonna do it in a specific order. I'm just gonna start with the most difficult pieces in my collection. Oops. And those are the moon swatches. Yes, I got 2 of them. Why? I love the Speedmaster. It's, in my opinion, if you need to get one watch, the perfect watch you can get. The reason I got 2 is because I always wanted the blue one, but y'all guys know in the beginning it was impossible to get. So I really had to beg my AD, local AD. There's one in Brussels, and they finally hooked me up. But I prefer the red one. And I'm gonna be honest, the Moonswatch, I don't view it as a watch. It's kind of a fun toy, but it's Omega doing something playful on everything that has to do with Omega, and it's just a fun toy. If you have a lovely Sunday afternoon, just want something to hike, it's the perfect watch. But you guys are not here for Moonswatches. So I'm gonna go with the heavy hitters, and I'm gonna start with the first luxury watch I ever purchased, and that is the Speedmaster. This is a 3861. I got it in Tenerife, and I bought this watch when I celebrated a big milestone in my life, and that was when I conquered tinnitus. For the people who don't know what tinnitus is, it's ringing in the ears. So it was something I really suffered from, and I wanted to watch to celebrate. Like, hey, whatever goes wrong in life, ups and downs, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And this is the watch, whatever happens, I will ever forever keep. Now, it's not a perfect watch. Like you will see the rest of my collection, I prefer watches that are quite versatile. To an extent, you can wear it in every occasion. Doesn't matter it's on a suit. Doesn't matter if it's just on a very easy chill day. The Speedmaster is almost perfect for it. Why? You got the very nice bracelet. You got a very nice dressy look. The only thing is the water resistance is kind of effed. And I can tell about that. This watch has been serviced 2 times already in the 2 years I owned. The first time was because I washed my hands and a little bit of water got into the case. So the whole movement was destroyed. Luckily, it turned out to be a gasket problem and they replaced for free. And 6 months ago, because the service didn't go well, the crystal popped off. So this watch has a history. This is probably the only Speedmaster with already 2 warranty cards. And still, I love it because it's attainable, it's easy to purchase, and second of all, the service at Omega is amazing. If something goes wrong, they pick it up, they do what they have to do, and they bring it back. The only thing is, yeah, the water resistance is not the greatest, which is kind of unfortunate. But for the rest, if you need one watch, this is the watch you should get. Like you can wear this in every occasion. Now there's more in my box, of course, and this is something you guys and girls will probably haven't seen yet. This is the Tudor Heritage Edition. In
Love
my
it.
opinion, the only Tudor you should get. I believe the black base are all a bit the same. Here you get a little bit of different color. Now this watch has somewhat of a very special bond with. I was never into Tudor at all. I found them bulky. I found them big. I found them boring. Until I saw the green one, and I was sitting in a hospital with my brother-in-law who cut his own hand because he's a chef. And I was bringing him to the hospital, and I was like every watch nerd looking at Horinki. We saw the article pass, and I'm pretty sure he was high on something. He was like, "Oh, I love that watch as well." So we both sent an email to Harrods like, "Hey, we're both interested," and we were taught nothing will come from it. So I got an email. It was like, "Hey, Mr. Ball Watch Guy, good news, you're getting one." Oh, amazing! So immediately I sent a text to my brother-in-law. I was like, "Hey guys, By any chance, could you also allocate him? So we went together to London, picked it up, and we have matching numbers. So mine is 9643, his is 9644.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, so this has a family connection. Now, this watch has been a little bit divisive on me because I will show it. It's a bulky boy. So as you can see, I'm also part of the Itty Bitty Wrist Club. So it's not the perfect design. I would prefer a 58 variant. The movement is okay for the money you pay. The bracelet is serviceable. There's nothing wrong about the watch, but also nothing that stands out about the Black Bay. It's in my opinion kind of a safe bet. It's a watch you can recommend to everybody and nobody at the same time. Doesn't matter if you're a watch nerd or just somebody who wants one watch, one and done, which is kind of a theme. All my watches are basically watches that stand by themselves. They're just simple, kind of cool. If you don't know what you want in a watch, you have a little bit of money to spend, just buy a Black Bay, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're great.
Now, before I go to the main hitter, I'm gonna show you this one. This is a Maurice Lacroix from the 1980s. It's a ladies' watch, but it has a special meaning to me. Now, I'm not a fan of vintage watches at all. I found them horrific to deal with. The service costs are horrible. If you pick one up and you really want to put them up, it's gonna cost you a bit of money. The reason I'm keeping this one, this is my grandfather's watch. He got this as a gift in 1991 when he retired. And I found this watch in the belongings of my grandmother. It has never been worn. It was just sitting in a box, and my grandfather didn't like gold, so he never wore it. So I brought this watch to my local watchmaker. Luckily, it was a quartz, but the quartz movement had to be replaced since it never run. So I paid like $300 to put this watch in perfect condition. I actually reapplied the gold plating again because it was more gray than yellow.
Yeah, it's
But
looking lovely.
yeah, it's really for the itty bitty wrist clubs. But I love it, and it's a watch with somewhat of a history. And I also have the watch of my other grandfather. Unfortunately, it's not on my wrist because I gifted it to my father. Very unique story. Um, my grandfather fought in World War II, and he was part of the resistance. And the
Whoa.
story is, he kind of lived in a farm, and that was overlooking an airfield in the region of Kent. Because his farm was higher up, he could see all the activity that was going on. So he could see the amount of bombers, Messerschmitt, and so on landing there. And he had a radio from the RAF. So every time he saw suspicious activity, he would give code signals to the British people. And when there was enough activity, the British would bomb the hell out of that airfield. Now, unfortunately, not at a big cost. He lost his first wife because his farm got bombed. And by the end of the war, so you know what happens? The Germans were retreating, and at the end of the road, they wanted to settle some scores. So what they did is they were rounding up everybody they suspected of collaborating or fighting with the British, and they shot him. Luckily for him, the Canadians and the Polish saved him. Last minute, he was already at the wall, and he was getting shot, and luckily he was saved. And on his deathbed, he asked his sons to do something back for the Canadians and the Polish soldiers. And we have a museum that's open to the public where every person who's in the military can enter for free. And when he opened the museum, and it was in the 1960s, he got gifted a watch. He got an old Dalbana watch, a Czech watch. I haven't found any documentation about it. The watch came into my possession after being lost for over 30 years. My grandfather died early. I restored the watch and I gifted it to my father, who's not a watch guy and is wearing it on a daily basis. Unfortunately, I cannot show it to you because I cannot pry it from my dad's hands, but that's by far the most important watch in my collection.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful story. Thank you very much for sharing that.
This is my most divisive watch. I know there's lovers and haters about this. This is like one of the most iconic divers ever, and this is the Submariner. This is my second Submariner, actually. So the story behind this is when I first got into watches, I was doing my due diligence and was looking for a watch that I wanted to wear on a daily basis. And I ended up with a Breitling as a first thing, a Never Timer. Now, unlucky for me, I was on holiday in Tenerife. The model I wanted was not available. Now, not really knowing about watches, was kind of disappointed. So I came back home to Belgium. Was like, yeah, let's do my research. And all right, fine. I'm gonna be a basic bitch. I'm gonna buy a Submariner. So went to my local AD, put my name on the list, and 6 months later, I got a call. So I got a call, went to the AD, bought it for like 7.5 back in the day. And the day after I bought that watch, the watch was outdated because they just released a new model, the 1-2 series, the one I'm holding now. So I was kind of disappointed and I flipped the watch immediately. I was like, fuck it, this has a bad stain on it, a bad memory. I didn't like how I was treated at AD. So I ignored Rolex for a long time. And after buying the Speedmaster and the Tudor Harrods, I decided like, hey, why not? I put myself back on the list because it was always my dream watch, especially when I looked more into it. Now, after owning it, this has been my most divisive watch. I've been wearing it a lot lately, but this is still in, you can see it in mint condition, not a scratch or anything. I've been holding this watch for a year, wore it, let's say 20 times, where from the last 10 times the last 3 weeks. It is a cool watch, don't get me wrong, but there's one problem with Rolex. You cannot buy it when you want. Like, timing is everything. When I bought the Harrods, I had a special memory with my brother-in-law. When I bought the Speedmaster, it was the right time. Here I had to wait for. And this is the thing about watch collecting. It's not the watch that counts, it's the memories you collect with it. Every watch has a story. This watch is a piece of metal. Now, it's a fun piece of metal for sure, but I still have to attach some memories to it. So, by the way, this is my watch collection.
That was absolutely great. Thank you very much. Round of applause, to be honest with you, with that.
Dude,
Those
honestly,
stories.
Baldy, dude, I'm gonna vote for you now. You got my vote right now,
Yeah, I think
Baldy.
you may be swaying
Dude.
me, Baldy.
But I'm just here to tell a story about my collecting.
Yeah, I know, and we're really glad to have you, man. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. People, feel free to ask him some questions. And then,
Red
yeah,
Rocket, which watch do
Indeed.
you think best reflects your stupid, bald personality, as you said? Speedmaster. Like, this watch has suffered as much as I did. 2 services in 2 years. The crystal popped off. It got destroyed by washing my hands. This watch will probably be after even more in the future, but I love it to that.
It's a fighter. It's a fighter for sure.
It's a fighter. Why go bald? Well, because genetics. I'm sorry. What got you into watches? Actually, I wanted something to celebrate. I was not a watch guy at all. I just wanted something to celebrate the milestone of my tinnitus. That was the trigger. And my friends, everybody was just buying Breitling. So I just gravitated to Breitling because it was affordable back in the day. It was approachable back in the day. And I just wanted the Navitimer BN01 with a metal bracelet. And it's a fair watch, but the thing is, and this is something that every collector does, the moment you drop in the rabbit hole, the more knowledge you gather, the more you get into it. And the bug bit me, basically.
Yeah, I think all of us
Also,
can attest to that as well.
also, did you use the Moonswatch as a catalyst for the Speedmaster? It was the opposite. I got the Speedmaster first, and then I saw the Moonswatches. And the reason I really liked them is because they're just a cool colorway. I owned 4 of them. Now there's 2 left. I also owned the Moon. Problem was the Moon was too close to my Speedmaster. I sold it. I bought a Jupiter for my ex, and I bought the Mars because of the red rocket hands, which is a nod to the Project Alaska, and put it on the red NATO strap, and they're just fun. Now, don't buy them all. Like 1 or 2 is the max because they're toys. They're fun, but they're not really watches.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, weird question. What watch did you wear when that woman drove into you? I was wearing the Tudor Black Bay. Like, it's quite weird. It's not that I switch watches every day. What happens is a lot of my watches are part in the box. They're in the vault because safety is important. So I just pick up one watch and just wear for a long while, for 1 or 2 weeks until I'm bored, and that's about it. And that's how it goes a little
So we
bit.
can say that Tudor Shield was really protecting you that day, huh?
Yeah, there's no. You see, my ball head is still intact.
Indeed it is.
And
Indeed it is.
And if there's any questions why my ball head is shiny, there's 2 reasons. Yes, I use a cream to protect it, and the light also doesn't help.
I don't think anyone was asking that.
I'm preemptively striking it.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. When it comes to watch collecting journey, I'm gonna give a few hot takes before I'm going. Luxury watches are not always worth it. I can attest that to the Submariner, and I truly believe less is more. The reason I would say this, I'm mostly rotating between 1 or 2 watches, and the rest are just sitting in the box. I know people who have like 10, 20 expensive watches, and they rarely rotate them. Of course, this is my personal opinion. Less is more, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's a good statement, actually. I'd partially agree with that as well, although saying that, I don't think Cole would.
Yeah, sadly, gonna have to disagree with you a little bit, but I just have a little bit of a hoarding issue, and that tends to happen.
But
True.
that I can imagine. Now, looking at the future, I don't know. Honestly, this year I have bought 1 watch that I gifted. I also tried to buy a Laurier Neptune. Unfortunately, it never got delivered. I've been contemplating of selling off my collection because I have a golden rule, like I have a set budget for watches. I almost maxed it out because at some point you're getting older, you have other priorities in life. I've been thinking about selling everything and just go for like a Vacheron Constantin, just get something out there. I've been thinking like maybe I should switch it up and sell this one and just diversify my portfolio. I was looking at the Christopher Ward, the Moonface. I was looking at getting a Laurier, even a Tagore. I enjoy the class box. There's so many ways to go. Like collecting watches is not a static thing. I thought for a long while I was done. I got everything I wanted. It's never done. A collection should evolve, and a collection evolves with taste. And we all have different tastes. I've seen a few of the collections in here. I love the fact that people went for diverse. I actually like Retro Cats collection that I heard about, getting the Belcanto, getting a GLC, beautiful watch, bit overpriced in my opinion, so F you. I love that everybody has his own style and nobody is right in this collection world. We should all buy and collect what we enjoy. Even, for example, getting a Hublot, for example. I actually like a Big Band Fusion. Just do what you enjoy and want. It doesn't matter what the specs of a watch or how many hours of power reserve or that the strap is made from some extinct crocodile. Actually, I think I would get a strap from an extinct crocodile.
Oh, I would. That'd be cool.
Anyways, that's on the side note. It's about the stories and the memories you attach to the watch because it's something you keep on for the rest of your life, and hopefully and eventually you pass on to your family, to your children. The memories attach what it means to you. I hope that I have the chance to give this one away, and all of my brother-in-law to my son one day, because that's gonna be not the 3rd but the 4th generation owning that watch.
Exactly,
And
and that's something beautiful.
that's something beautiful, and that's a chance we all have here. And don't get me wrong, this might be the reason I probably will lose some votes tonight, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I understand people like to collect cheaper watches. For example, they collect Tissot's and Seiko's and Citizens, and there's nothing wrong with it. They're cool, beautiful watches. But unfortunately, a Tissot PRX in 20 years, it has plastic parts in it. At one point, you will go to the service center, and for the cost of a service, you can buy a new watch. And then I'm asking myself the question like, is it worth it? Is this a product you can keep for the rest of your life or a product you can throw away? Now I know there's a lot of people here who are quite knowledgeable and who can service it themselves. And I know from $1,000 you can get watches that can last you a lifetime. So instead of like buying a watch every year or like every 5 years, save it up and get something beautiful.
Yeah, get the real one you want.
Well, depends. Like Rolex 10K today, it's stupid money. And like I said in the side, we're just poor. No, 10K is 10K, and it's a ridiculous amount of money. It's I cannot even defend the price structure of Rolex GLC Omega to these days. A Speedmaster costed 5.56 years ago. Watches are unattainable at this point.
Yeah, Datejust has gone up by over £2,000 in the past few years.
I see a fun remark. This feels like a philosophy class. Yes, it can be if you want to. We can talk philosophy. Now, watches are about passion and love, not about the mechanics, in my
They
opinion.
are. It's a bit like cars. Some of us love cars here. It's more than just metal to us. It's it really does mean something. It does create emotions and memories that we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. And that's why. And I'm gonna give more compliments why I'm here. Greed. I must say, Greed, his collection isn't a big collection, but every watch he has a story, and every watch is connected to what he enjoys. It can be photography, it can be his bike. It's not up to me to talk about it. Has Greed already been on or not? Before I continue.
Greed. Yes, Greed has been, yes.
Okay. So I know, maybe I cannot say it. Greed, can I talk about the watch you're gonna buy or not? Before I speak on it, yeah. So
Yes.
I love the fact that he's looking at a Panerai submersible, a watch that I absolutely detest. But when he told me the story, why he would buy it, because it fits his motorcycle, because it fits his hands, he wants to be different. I was like, great, you're doing your own thing. Don't look at the masses. Fuck Nico Landers, for example. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to what I think about my Speedmaster. If you fucking hate the Speedmaster, burn it. Do what you want to do. The stories are the things that count.
Indeed. Completely agree. Completely agree with you.
I think I went
100%.
over time. My apologies.
No, but you're absolutely fine, Baldy. I absolutely loved hearing that.
No,
Those stories were amazing.
you have 2 more minutes,
You
actually.
got 2
Oh,
more
I got 2
minutes?
more minutes. Oh, well, I'm gonna film. I'm gonna take some cues and go over time.
Yeah, no, the 20 minutes a person's been working absolutely perfect so
Yeah.
far.
I was
It's
timing.
done.
I don't want to bore out the public. That's for sure. One gripe: vintage. Now I know a lot of young collectors are looking at vintage. Buyer beware. Like, if you don't know what you're doing with vintage, get the help. Ask around here in the server, because I've seen so many horror stories about people buying an old Omega and it turned out to be Frankenstein, wrong dial with the wrong case, wrong minute hands, or they forgot about the cost of service. Because servicing an old watch can cost you 400, 500 euro or dollars. So be careful out there. Really, it's a risk to take.
Yeah. Just ask around.
Yeah, ask around or go play safe. Play safe in the beginning. Just get your first watch from an AD, or hit up Cole, hit up EQD, hit up me, and I will bore you to death with my useless bald knowledge.
Exactly. We all will.
Oh, something else you should do as a collector. Give me 1 moment. I'm gonna plug somebody.
Awesome. By the way, guys, just quickly, whilst Baldy gets that, is when we're doing questions, can we keep the questions towards the end of when the guy is showing the collection, because it's just easy because they can see it easier and we don't have to scroll
Well,
up or
yeah,
anything like
we
that.
have a set time for questions. So at the end of go ahead, Diabetes.
I
Sorry.
was gonna say we're way over time right now.
Oh, quickly.
Oh, wait, fine.
Cookie is in the server. He can make you posters for every watch you want, and they're kind of cool. He does that for free, by the way. Just a shout out to Cookie, who's in the server, and I love a little bit of art, collecting the books, so I just wanted to block him.
Exactly. Shout out Cookie, shout out over on the server. Absolutely loving it. Great community we've got going on here, guys.
All right, I yield my time.
Right, brilliant. Thank you very much, Baldy, for coming along. That's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love seeing that and hearing those stories. It's something really unique, and it just goes to show about how watchmaking and watches means more to us than simply just the objects themselves.
All right, maybe I'll take time for one final question. I'll take my last 30 seconds. Any questions? Oh, Retro, can you go? Well, for you, I'm just gonna sit here for 20 seconds just doing this.
Lovely. Enjoying a nice glass of whiskey.
I'm just here to waste the 15 seconds left of my. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna use my time to the next one.
All right, I'll go ahead and
Uh,
move you back down.
Thank you very much, Baldy. Absolutely love that. It was great.
All right, Quickster is up now.
Indeed, quick straight.
Yes, hello everyone.
Hello, everyone. There we go. Brilliant.
There we go. Hope everyone is having a good day or evening, depending on where you are in the world.
Thank you. Funky t-shirt. Love it.
Oh, thank
Or
you.
shirt
It's,
even. Absolutely love it.
yeah, got it with my girlfriend when I was there this summer.
Beautiful. Nice to have you in again, Quickster. It's been a little bit of a short while, but loving to see you again on here.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you too.
Thank you.
I was thinking I would start with the oldest watch in my collection and the one with the most, with arguably the most history behind it. It is my great grandfather's watch that I am lucky enough to have. My camera isn't the best at focusing, so I'm going to post a picture of it in the chat in case it doesn't want to show. It is a gold Certina quartz with a date.
Lovely.
14 karat gold.
Just brought that up.
My
on the
great
screen.
grandfather got it in 1980 after working at his job for 25 years. So it's inscribed at the back with Yubu, which is where he was working at the time, and the date that he got it. It's very small. I think it's like 34 millimeters. Very small on me. My wrists are a bit on the bigger size, but it's still nice to wear. I also have his ring that I wear inscribed with his initials, which matches really well. So currently my go-to dress watch, but I am looking to upgrade to the Sugias Moon Phase Master Moon. I think that's what it's called. It was shown off in here earlier by by Speedy, I believe, but I could be misremembering. And that is actually the next watch I am. Oh yeah, that is actually the next watch I am looking to get because I think it's beautiful. Yes, Spoopy Greed. My bad. Then the first watch I ever bought with my own money was I think like 12 or 13, I believe. Young enough that the exact story of this watch is a little bit lost on me. It is a G-Shock. Also just posted in the chat. Yes, my kitchen is in my bedroom, so is my living room. I live in a studio apartment because I'm a watchmaking student, for those of you who don't know. So what you are seeing is basically my entire apartment, except for my bathroom. So yeah, this watch I got my grandfather I got this watch for, I believe, my own money when I was like 12 or 13. I had saved up, or my mom probably paid for some of it because I was super young. And then later on, sadly, this watch actually got stolen. So this is not the watch. My watch got stolen, which I was very sad while I was playing sports. It got stolen out of my bag. I didn't notice. So
Not
then later on, after my grandfather on my mom's side had died, he had some money stashed away, not a lot, but money under the mattress type money that he definitely did not pay taxes on. So my mom, we were really poor, but my mom spent that money to get me this watch, which is the exact same model, which was super sweet. Makes this watch
Yeah, how sweet.
very special to me. Worn this watch for years, doing construction. I don't know how well you can see. You can see better on the picture. There's actually a scratch in the dial or in the crystal of it.
Oh,
I feel like you
nice.
don't always see a scratched up G-Shock, but this has definitely been used, since fair share of use. And
Yeah,
then I
100%.
also have another G-Shock, which I got from my dad. No special story. He just saw my other watch and wanted to give me this because he had it and he wasn't using it.
Yeah,
I was gonna post that in the chat for everyone to look at a bit better.
indeed.
So I ended up wearing this watch a lot more. It's dead right now. I haven't worn either of these watches in a while. But this watch has like zero legibility. It is dark red on black. So I actually like the design of this watch a lot more. Yeah, with the black and white. I really like it.
Yeah, it's really
But
good.
have
I
not
like
worn
it.
Yeah, thank you. Have not worn either of these watches in a long time. Then my next watch I bought I was studying mechanical engineering. Realized I absolutely hated it, and I was getting really into watches, which eventually got me into watchmaking, watching YouTube videos and such, and I got this. It is a skeletonized Forge and Foster. I thought this was really cool when I got it because you could see the movement of the watch, something that I had never seen before.
I feel like we all go through that
Uh,
phase though, where we want to get a really cheap skeleton just to see the movement and everything running. I mean, I don't know. I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
so
I actually did that a year ago. I got my
Yeah.
first skeleton because I was like, huh, these are cool. And then I got it and I was like, I'm not really going to wear that much, but they're cool.
yeah, but it's I wear this a lot. It's super heavy stainless steel. I am actually So this is not the one I bought. This is one I got on warranty because the other one didn't have a gasket in the case back. There just wasn't a gasket there. So I got this one. The original one, I decided I wanted to try to service, and it just completely broke and fell apart. I took it apart, tried to Google it, and all I found were people saying, "Don't buy this watch. It's a Chinese drop shipping scam." So that was fun. Kind of ruined this watch for me, but I'm really impressed with the finishing on the bracelet of it. I paid like $150 for this watch, and one of the only watches in my collection that I've bought. Well, right now is the only collection watch in my collection that I've actually bought myself, and I'm really impressed with the finishing on it. For $150, it's way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, yeah, they look really cool. I understand, like obviously they're not technically the best movements or anything like that, but it's
Yeah.
still a really awesome thing to see. To be honest with you.
It is really cool. It's also got an open main spring barrel, which is cool. So the finishing on the movement itself is just sandblasted. It's not good. It's got like blued screws, not heat blued, but just painted blue, which is kind of cool, I guess. Was cool, but the bracelet and the case on it is surprisingly good finish. Next up is my watch that I wear every day. This is let's see, 40 millimeter. A Certina DS Action. This is, yeah, I'm gonna take it off and show it. This is a watch that I got while I was out doing work placement, basically like an apprenticeship at a watchmaker. It is a watch I really like. It's super comfortable to wear. I think this watch is 40 millimeter. Love the white dial on it. You can wear it casually. You can dress it up. Really love this watch. Super comfortable to wear. I completely restored it, so it was not running. Looked like someone had dragged it behind a car against the concrete. It was super scratched up. And I refinished the whole case, the bracelet, everything. It has brushed links with polished on these little parts of the links in between. So it's two polished stripes with a brushed finish going down. Refinished the case as well, which was super fun. And got the movement up and running, an ETA 2824 movement. So no Powermatic here, no plastic parts. So
Indeed.
yeah, and then when I had refinished this watch and one other watch in a complete restoration, and I asked if I could buy this watch for a good price. If I got a good price on it, I might be willing to buy it. And they said I could. After some deliberation, they said I could have it for free as a thank you, which was super nice of them. So
Yeah. Lovely.
really love this watch. Yeah. Now moving on to my favorite watch in my collection, I would have to say. I showed it in the watchmaking event for those of you who were there. It is a perfectly useless afternoon by Mr. Jones Watches. Really, really love this watch. It was a gift from my girlfriend, a Christmas gift from my girlfriend a couple years ago. I think this is a really, really nice watch. It's a bit small on me. It's 38 millimeter. I have pretty chunky wrists, but it works. Yeah, really love this watch. I think it's also a really good reminder of this hobby that can be a really snobby hobby of you gotta have the most expensive watches, and it's a good reminder that it doesn't have to be an expensive watch to be a nice watch.
Exactly.
So yeah, wear this watch a lot too. These two are definitely the ones I wear the most without doubt. Absolutely love this watch.
Yeah, they're
And
absolutely.
then and then my newest collection, or my newest addition to my collection, I should say, is this Longines Conquest. It is a quartz. It is. I wouldn't say it's my nicest watch. I think this Certina is probably my nicest watch. My A Perfectly Useless Afternoon is my favorite watch. But this is my most expensive watch that I own. Either this or my gold Certina quartz from my great grandfather. One of these two, but I think this has it just barely edged out. Of course, I got this one now from doing a work placement at a really nice watchmaker here in Sweden. It went really well. This is not restored. I didn't do any work on this watch, but it is something they give to me as a gift, which they totally did not have to do. So, really grateful for that. They also engraved the back of it. It's pretty small engraving, so you probably cannot see it on camera at all. But it was the name of the company, Hjelmers Ur, and 2024 from when I was there. So cool memories with this watch as well. That
Indeed, yeah.
is my my collection. I also have the watch I changed the battery of on the watchmaking stream. But that watch is at school, and I completely forgot to bring it back home with me. But it's a quartz chronograph made by Quicksilver.
Yeah, that's very cool as well, yeah. I mean, you can't have all of them on. I mean, I wish I could have some of mine to show as well, but that's what it is, isn't it?
It is what it is.
Oh, it'll be alright, it's all good. Right, guys, come on, questions. Put them through. I mean, I'll tell you what. Before anyone. Oh, Grail Watch.
Grail watch. So my Grail watch right now is the Erlange und Sonne triple split chronograph in rose gold. I absolutely love this watch. I think it's awesome.
It's like you're anticipating that question.
Yeah, I knew that question was coming, so I had it pulled up.
Indeed, good.
I love that watch. It's like the last one, as far as I know, sold at auction for about $150,000. So definitely not gonna get it anytime soon, but maybe one day. A man can hope.
Not cheap.
Yeah, just save up. If you don't buy Starbucks every day, you become a millionaire. So
exactly. So you just have to buy the watch and just give up coffee the rest of your life, and you'll be fine.
exactly. I don't even drink coffee. I mean, where's my million?
Exactly.
What outlook do you have right now that is a watch you want to get after the moon phase master? So I don't really have a specific watch that I'm wanting to get after the moon phase master. I felt like my collection was lacking a proper dress watch. I feel like that watch is really nice dress watch. It also kind of matches my ring. It doesn't show up on camera, but it's a little bit sparkly with the finishing of it. Tungsten ring my girlfriend got me.
Yeah, tungsten's cool.
So yeah, it's really nice tungsten carbide ring. But I am really wanting to add a GMT to my collection, just because I live in Sweden, my girlfriend lives in the US, so it seems really useful to be able to track both time zones at once.
Get the black bay,
So,
get the black bay, get the
and
black bay. Good for Chunkiris as well.
yeah, okay, are you gonna send me the other like $4,000 I'm short to get one?
No, they are useful though. I do the same thing. I set mine to EST as well, so I can sort of time, like, you know, for example, these events and everything like that. It's nice
Yeah.
to just glance down and have a look. It is really, they're really useful, really cool.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna end up getting a Seiko GMT, most likely. Maybe even do some modding on it. Never done any modding on a watch, we'll have to see. But that would be so probably a GMT of some sort,
Yeah.
probably a Seiko-based GMT after will be my next watch.
Great
I'd have to
choice.
say.
And also, as you're a watchmaker as well, that would be awesome to see because it would be done, I guess, like, actually in quotation marks, properly, but you know what I mean? It would be done to a higher standard than some people do.
Yeah, so I feel like I never done any watch modding, but can't be. I feel like I should be able to pull it off. I've installed countless hands and dials and swap dials and I'm in complete
If my
services,
dumbass
everything.
can build a Seiko mod,
100.
you can too, quick sir.
In
Yeah, I
quick we
feel like I
trust.
should be able to pull it off.
Oh, you'd be grand.
What watch would you love to see on your workbench someday? That is a really great question, a really interesting question. I would love to be able to work on an Erlange und Söhne. They are my favorite watch brand. I absolutely love their movements. That would be amazing to be able to work on one of those. Very bit of a tangent, but the nicest watch I have worked on is probably a Submariner, Rolex Submariner. I love Rolex movements. I've only worked on ETA movements and Rolex movements, and some Certina movements too, when they made their own movements. But yeah, so probably an Erlange und Söhne anything
Yeah,
would be
beautiful.
awesome to get to work on. What is the limit of money you would spend for a watch? So right now, my limit for a watch is probably like anywhere from $200 to $700, but that's just because I am poor. But I feel like your budget is very much gonna vary person to person, depending on how much you make. You know, if you're making $200,000 a year, there's no like you can buy a $5,000 watch, a $10,000 watch without any issue. I feel like the most I would ever spend on a watch is probably, unless I get some $1 million paying job, realistically, the most I'd ever spend on a watch is probably $15,000, I would say. But maybe that will change as time goes on.
Oh, yeah.
Which organ would you sell for a long? I don't know, all of them. However many it takes. Kidney's a good one, yeah. I'm guessing Rolex movements are relatively easy to work on since they're probably built for it. Yeah, Rolex movements are very much built to be work on. I made a post about it in the watchmaking channel where I post most often that working on those Rolexes really made watchmaking seem easy because I would just disassemble the watch, clean it, put it back together, and lubricate it, and I would get like 300 amplitude and a rate delta of like 4 seconds per day from the highest delta or from the highest rate to the lowest rate. It was really a joy to work on. So Rolex are very easy to work on, very nice to work on. Everything just kind of fits together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they are, after all, tool watches, supposedly.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
once upon a time.
Yeah. I mean, like, I tried an 18 karat Submariner yesterday, and that's not exactly a I mean, I don't know what you'd be doing if your job for that is to watch, but
Yeah, you don't bring that when you're about to pour concrete all day.
no, certainly not. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how expensive the concrete is you pour.
All right.
All
Well,
right. Seems like that's all the questions. Thank you all for taking a look at my watches and for listening to me talk about them.
absolutely. Thank you for showing them off. We appreciate
Yeah.
it, my man.
Thank you again, Quickster. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
All right. And Bobber is up. Which one?
Started my collection pretty young. Probably at the age around of 8, maybe. I forgot. It started with a Swatch, simple one, just battery powered, quartz, very easy. It was a gift for my grandpa because of church.
You're out of frame.
Some-
You need to bring it to the left.
Yeah.
a
Oh,
bit.
you're a wee bit out of frame. Bit
yeah,
There you go.
perfect.
better.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right, fine. This is a simple Swatch, quartz powered, water resistant, simple. I got it because of I did some things in the church that I made, and that's a simple gift. It started from here, but my grandparents they had a Omega constellation,
Wow.
and they made it. They had it on every day, but my grandpa, as soon as the Apple Watch came out, he only wore that, and he still
Oh,
has his. They bought the same constellation, but my grandma, she always wears hers. My grandpa, he has it shelved somewhere. And next one. This is my Longines something I forgot. It's the automatic. It's from 1986. It's a simple automatic, can be wound. It's date change. You can't change it normally, so it is simply
yeah.
move it back from.
That's
I
beautiful.
wear
I love that
this.
dial.
I used to wear this every day. It's yeah, it's very plain, but it works perfectly with the light and bounces. Yeah, I like it with everything basically. I don't know if you can see it good with the camera, but the hour markers have a little black stripe on it, and the date win, of course, and that's makes it for me easier to read also because you have the easier 12, 3, 6, and 9. And I
Yeah.
got this for my 16th birthday, and this came from a family member. He lived in America. He was a watchmaker, and that's basically it for this. And this the next one. This is a manual wound Pontiac watch. It's 18 karat gold, I think. I don't know if it's plated or not. It has blued hands, and its centerpiece has
Yes.
maybe a screw. I don't know. It's very simple, but still beautiful. And this is also a piece someone in family got from all his children. That's what it says on the back. Van uw kinderen. That's from your children. With the date with it. 26/8/1964.
Yeah.
And when you see the difference, it's one's very thick because it's automatic. The other is very thin because of the manual round.
Yeah, it makes a big difference having
And I got
automatic.
this recently. Yeah. It's recently I got this from a family member. She didn't wear it, or her man didn't wear it anymore. So they gave it to my mom, and my mom said, "Hey, I got another one for you." It's a Seiko Lazan. It's quartz, and this one is very simple, looks beautiful, very more than the ones. It's basically the size of only the case back of the long jeans. Very nice. I need to put a new battery in. I don't know what fits even in it, but that's one beauty I got. This next one, this a Grand Pocket Watch. I got it with the long jeans and the Pontiac. It's very. I need to get it fixed, but I don't know a lot about it. I like the engravings of it. It's family stuff. I think this was also from the collection of the watchmaker that my grandparents got. Very simple, blued hands, basically the Pontiac, but normal numerals, small second hand, and that's basically it for this.
Yeah, blue hands are beautiful. Yeah.
I also have this. It's a pocket watch from someone that worked 50 years in a company.
Wow.
It's a Colibri pocket watch. It's quartz. It's also somewhat old. It's 1998. Used to be. Actually pretty nice with the texture on the front and back. Very simple. There's also a small knife on it.
Well, that's handy. Yeah,
Small Swiss knife. Very simple. I don't know the use of it, but
yeah. It's
someone
anything.
will
I think
find a
it's
use for it.
yeah.
Not for me. I don't like. And this will be one Peters will know. This is the
Yep.
watch from the giveaway you did a while back.
That
I
was the
actually wear
first
it
giveaway watch we ever
a
did
lot
in this
still.
server.
Yeah.
I kept it in the box, papers, everything. Beautiful. I wear it sometimes. Still feels very good. Perfect condition. Sorta. Still used it, so small light scratch along everywhere basically.
That is
It
beautiful.
is
Yeah. At least you're
scratch.
wearing it.
It likes to scratch littles, but it's very simple, light up, and all sorts of functions. Very good from well, the giveaway. Should be active in the server, and you will receive one
Indeed.
someday.
Indeed, you will. Indeed.
And this is a fun one. Some people would know. It's a Bacardi watch. It was a promotion in the 90s, probably. My grandparents, they had a disco. It was pretty big back then, and now it's gone, sadly. But they got all sorts of promotions and stuff because of it, and this was one of them.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
a simple Bacardi watch. It's really huge though. This
Yeah, it looks way above
this is
40
my
millimeters.
14 millimeter Tech Heuer, and this compared to it,
Oh, it's probably like a
it's
14
really
key, maybe?
huge. I don't know who would. It's I don't know. It's basically the size of the pocket watch, even bigger still. So I don't know who would wear it, but I have it. It's very nice, but I probably will never wear it because of the small hands also, and yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. Just not your style. Yeah, fair enough. It's lovely though.
Yeah, there are still some. They still have some. They might want to give me. I don't know. I will see. It's nice to have. Small fun little thing.
Yeah.
And the last one, I got a Tag Heuer Aqua, no, Aqua Racer 200M. I started the job, truck mechanic, so I wanted to celebrate it by buying my first luxury expensive watch.
Yeah.
I decided to go for the Aqua Racer 200M. And it was a hard choice between this or the Longines Aqua, no, Longines or Conquest, because this was also very nice with the clicking sound and everything, and the small date window on the sixth position,
Yeah,
and
the
it was
dial is
40
beautiful.
millimeter, so it's perfect for me. Yeah, it's also perfect because it's blue in the middle, but it fades to black on the outer ring. So when the light bounces off it, you'll get a mix also with the engraving. So on the side to side of the dial, you see when the light's on it, you see it perfectly, but when it's to the side, you see all the lines kind of look like black, so it's black lines over it. And you have
Yeah.
also, I don't know if you can see it really, but between our hands you have also the white extra mint hands that makes it way easier to read.
Indeed, yeah. Very cool. Kind of
Very
like an old
nice
tag.
clasp, also simple, beautiful, and also on the case back,
Yeah, cool case back.
little engraving. I love it. I wear it as I can because with my job I can do it, and with school I rather don't wear it because people would want to steal it, and and it's a little bit weird for a 16-year-old to walk around with the $2,000 watch on his wrist.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
So that's why I have the Longines. I wear it mostly because people won't look at this because it's old and it won't attract attention. This is more bigger and more unique and light catching, so people would see this more something they would want to steal.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the sports watch design, especially when it is
And
like
that's
they are
basically
stealing those materials, yeah.
yeah. Also considering with the Rolex models, everyone knows the Rolexes, but when it's a diver, they think, oh, that must be something expensive.
Yeah, true.
especially if it's so that's basically my watch collection. Simple. You have everything, mostly old and extra stuff that's given to me, passed down from many generations.
It's lovely. It's always lovely to have stuff passed down. I mean, for a 16-year-old, that's absolutely amazing.
Very nice.
Yeah. I have my eyes on something new, or that I would get in 3 years. That's that will be my goal.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Did somebody said 43 or 44? I don't know if you answered that one already.
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Everything I have is 40 millimeter and under. Only the Bacardi watch, I don't know exactly the size,
Okay. Brilliant.
I
but
got
that
you.
possibly could be a 44. I don't
Awesome.
know exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we really
Any
appreciate you
questions?
sharing the collection with us, my man.
Yeah. Thank you very much,
Thank
Will.
you.
All right. So
I
I'm gonna
will
move
now
you.
be quiet for months.
Oh no, don't be quiet. We love having you here.
All right, Bonsai. You're up, Chief.
Come on, Bonsai.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Yes, here we go.
The camera.
Okay, and your camera's
Perfect.
working too. Perfect.
See my hands?
Yeah,
Yep.
talking
You're
hands.
good,
Hey.
bud.
All right, there we go. How do you like the setup? Nice?
Great.
Love it.
All right. I got the jankiest shit ever. I have my fucking phone taped to the desk, so
Perfect.
here we go.
I love the
All right.
dedication.
So, yeah. So I'm going to go from like the least that I care about to the most I care about. I'll put it that way. So this one is a Seiko Sportsmatic 5 from 1969. I just got it because I got a fucking good deal on it, and plus it fit the fucking Longines bracelet, which is nice. Apart from that, it's just pretty useless. I don't wear it, selling it, so check market on that. And then, second, yeah, I'm trying to make it quick. So, second one is an Explorer mod I just built. I had a bunch of spares and I had 0 time to make it, so I just did it as humanly quick as possible. And then, I'll just grab the fucking, yeah. Okay, Longines time. So this is the Longines Hydro Conquest. You guys know all about this by now, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fucking beautiful. I have it for sale right now and selling, so whoever wants it, go right ahead, DM me. But I sort of got it as like a mid-year present to myself because, you know, if I worked hard and I reached a good goal with my like company. So I just decided why not? I got a Longines, I might as well spend my money wisely. And then here, let's do. You guys have been seeing this in the background, but this is my all-time daily. It is very dirty right now, so here, let me see. Okay, here is my all-time daily. You guys see everything right? I'm not sure if it's like a bad
Yeah.
camera or not.
Yeah, absolutely
All right.
perfect. Yeah.
All right, great. Well, this is my daily watch. I think all of you know that by looking in wrist shots every single day and me annoying the crap out of you guys. But this is my daily. I got it also during the summer. I think it was last year. So I got it last year. And I've been loving this one ever since I got it. I've probably ran through, I don't know, like 4 alpinists already. So the black dial is the one that I settled on, and I could not regret a single thing about it. And then since everyone's been bringing a fucking story in here, and I have 0 stories about like most of my watches, because the ones that I did have are at my safe deposit box. This is like the one that I actually keep in my home. This is my grandfather's Seiko 5. My grandfather was one of the very few people that survived the Vietnam War after brutally receiving torture. And he bought this watch for, I believe it was like his eldest son. He eventually just took it in for himself because, you know, he came to America, might as well have a job interview. But this watch survived basically all trials and tribulations of the South China Sea. This one survived everything in the refugee camps and all the torture that they had to go through, as most Vietnamese people had to when escaping Vietnam. As you can tell, the hands are replaced on it because the old ones were completely like, corroded when I inherited it. I still have the old one, but yeah, it was a sad day when I figured out they were no longer working, which fucking sucked, but now I got everything back to normal.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to make it quick, so and then the final one that's been on my wrist this whole time is probably one of my favorites. This one was given to me by Rado. I think you guys know him. He'll be here on here later.
He was in earlier, I think, even as well.
But
That's cool.
Rado's a really good friend of mine. Although we've never met in real life, I do plan on it, and who knows? Maybe I'll wear this watch to his wedding. But I mean, this watch I would say is a symbol of friendship, and at the same time, it's a symbol that there are some good people in the world. It's not just, you know, it's not just people trying to fuck me over the whole time. It's we got some good people, and Rado is one of the lucky few that I've met in my life.
Sweet,
So
very
yeah,
sweet.
that one has like the momentous, you know, friend thing. Also, this one has like the, you know, the I almost died trying to bring this to the U.S. type thing. My Seiko is like a continuance of my grandfather's legacy, and then also I have a couple in the background since I'm trying to make it quick. Also, pocket watch time, real quick, just randomly.
Very cool.
Just pulled that out of nowhere. Here, let me see. Okay, so this is a Seiko Quartz. This is my father's watch.
Beautiful. Love the
Yeah, he bought this
detail.
one back in the 90s before his first job interview, and now it's mine.
It's great.
I mean, not really after his first job interview, but like, you know, when he went to actually get a career instead of working a job.
Yeah. Black and
Yeah,
gold's
but this
amazing.
one is still working. I had it restored completely from the inside, so the external one is still perfectly, you know, pristine. The band is still original. Here, let me see if I can find it. There you go. See, Seiko, Japan.
Yeah.
So this is the original band on it, and it all works fine now. The whole movement needed to be taken apart and I guess put back together. They didn't replace, or I didn't want to replace it because I wanted to keep as much of it as original as possible. So, this was a lucky save. I'll put it that way.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a great
And
save.
then,
It's like I
oh
love the
yeah,
colours, honestly.
it's a beautiful one. And then, oh yeah, on my grandfather's watch again for the third time, um, I was never able to meet my grandfather because he passed away a couple years before I was born. Um, Most of his stuff in Vietnam was destroyed when the communists came through. So, one of the very few pieces that or that are still remaining of him is this one. Um, and then this is basically like the only way I was able to connect with him on like a physical level because, you know, he's just in a vase right now. I plan on getting it engraved, but I don't know how much that'll cost me. So I don't know if you're in the United States and you know how to do a good engraving job and can meet me in person, then I'll be more than happy to give it to you. But
Indeed. We'll do some research.
yeah, we'll do some research.
Rado's
And then
just
also
joined.
this one is
He missed what you were saying, unfortunately.
whatever. I'll recap him later on. Also,
Yeah.
this one is another Seiko quartz. I got this one for my father, and in about a week from now, I believe no, not exactly, but a week from now, I'm going to be giving this to him as his birthday watch because I believe he's turning 55. So, it's a early birthday present. I already got it for him, and I got it restored completely. So I paid for a new movement and whatnot, but basically it's working pristine.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it is Alpinist time, and I will answer any questions and concerns before I leave.
Indeed, right. So, questions, guys, put them in the chat.
Yeah. Here, let me see. Let me turn off video, and then I will answer all y'all's questions.
I'm more interested if anybody has concerns.
Or concerns. Yeah, concerns is
Because you
also
said
good.
questions or concerns.
Yeah, okay. So, where did you get the bracelet? Odin asked that. Odin, which one did you mean? The Seiko Alpinist one, I got it from I believe it was Strapcode. Yeah, so it's a Strapcode Miltat sort of, it says Miltat on it, but I got it from fucking Strapcode. It's a asteroid bracelet, and also Zorro, it is a stainless steel. So it's not a golden one, sadly. I would have loved for it to be a golden, gold pair, but sometimes the world doesn't make perfect things. Yeah. Oh, the dial of the Alpinist. No, it's a black dial. Here, I'll send a photo because I took photos before I presented, just in case the camera quality sucked. Oh yeah, they do have the champagne one. I've tried it in person, and I will definitely say it is one that I will probably be interested in the future. I've had it already, but it's just that like the circumstances at the time made it so I wasn't able to like hold it. My next target is most likely going to be aiming for a Rolex Explorer. But I mean, at the moment, probably just like my next target's going to be something smaller on the market, not something huge. As long as I can get the Longines sold, then I'll see what I can do from there. I did not go with the green one. The green one is currently with a guy in the server. I sold it to him, and so far he loves it. I didn't really like it because there's nothing I can really pair it with. There's no outfits I can pair it with. So, I mean, it's just not something I was super interested in. Also, I forgot to show you guys, but currently there is a watch that is not with me, and that watch is a new acquisition. That is the yep, Tudor Black Bay. This is the Tudor Black Bay Heritage 41. It's currently in, I believe, Dallas, Texas, being serviced by Tudor. Hopefully they'll get it to me soon. They said sometime by Christmas, so I just pray they don't take that long. You just what? Damn, okay. But I will be posting more on the Black Bay when I do eventually have it in my hands again, and I will most likely do a whole like photography shoot for the Instagram.
Indeed.
But yeah. So I mean, thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure as usual, and I will see you guys in VC if y'all want to hop in sometime tonight.
Indeed, exactly. Yeah, I'll be there as well.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Have a good one. Thank you very much, Bonsai. Pleasure as usual. So, next up we have Junkie, I believe.
Yeah, I'm on the road.
Oh.
On the road. Oh, there we go.
Right.
Look at that dedication.
All right, Passenger
All right.
Princess watch collection. Let's go.
All right, you guys can hear?
Yes, perfect. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, awesome. All right, I don't really know how to start this, so I'm just gonna shoot right through it. I don't really have too much of stories. Just something plain and simple. So first things first, you got my first ever watch. Should be my Timex Expedition. Got this from my dad back in middle school. Pretty much the watch that started it all. Back in middle school during a random Christmas. Can't remember which specific year, but yeah, forever a watch I'll forever be grateful for. Something I'll always hold on to. This one, another Timex, blue dial, blue NATO strap. I just said fuck it and bought it. Yeah. Didn't really think of a reason to buy it, but you know, might as well. Then you got the watch everybody should have. It's your classic G-Shock. I use it for work, use it for everyday use. Sturdy. I have thrown this so many times I can't even count. And it still holds up. I'm surprised it still works after pretty much torching it with a cutting torch. So yeah, gotta love this watch. Bought this back in high school. Probably has the most wearing time than out of every one of my watches. It's just a normal GA 2100. Super simple, super classic, super easy. Yeah. And just because I said fuck it for the meme, but an F91W. Still no idea why. It was like $16. This one I actually wore to prom. Stainless steel, kind of like gold coloration to it. Fit pretty well with the tux I was wearing. Yeah, that one I'll always hold on to. And once Omega and Swatch came out with their line, there's paint on it. I wore this quite a bit for work. Yeah, I was actually quite happy when I heard that these guys were coming out. Went to the Mall of America to buy it. I was hoping to get the mission to the moon, but they only had the mission Mercury. So I just said, screw it, got that one. There it goes. And yeah, I've had fun with this watch. Surprised it hasn't broke on me yet. Besides, like the plungers. Yeah, second hand's off, but that's okay. Yeah, I always love this one. Now, for my next line, because all those I put quartz at the top, my automatics at the bottom. First things first, you got my Trust watch, one that I got for Christmas last year from my father. Yeah, I'll always hold on to this one. See, this is the first Trust watch I have ever gotten, and probably the last dress watch because I don't, often wear tuxes and dress nice often. But you get the cocktail dial, sticker presage. Then you got your standard movement in the back. Very pretty movement though on the back, which I actually really like. There we go. All right. Doesn't want to focus. All right, whatever. Yeah. All right. Then we move to the watch, the DIY watch kit that I got for Christmas as well. This one was very fun to put together, except when I fucked up my second hand and minute hand. Luckily, Seiko, some of you know him, who's in here quite a bit. He sent me some new ones and got that done. He sent me the Mercedes hands, which I'm forever grateful for. But I had quite a bit of fun putting this together. Wasn't too bad. It was quite filling. Just watched a couple videos, found out how to put all of it together. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I actually will always enjoy this one. Then you got my first ever automatic movement. It's a Seiko Seiko SKX 009 K2. It came with a really ugly, like dark blue, light blue, red NATO strap. It was stained to hell of just dirt and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, with my first ever automatic watch, forever. I'm never gonna sell this thing. Yeah, later on, put a Ghibli bracelet that I found off of Amazon because it was cheap. It was like $20. But yeah, just got to figure out why it's not timed too well. Then you got my everyday wear, my absolute favorite watch. I wear this watch damn near on the daily. It's one I bought most recently. It's my Hamilton Khaki King 2. This watch, honestly, no idea what I would do without it. Love this watch. It's the most comfortable watch I've ever worn. Got a T8. I'm pretty sure it's a T8 movement. I can't remember. But very beautiful movement in there. Super thin. I'm pretty sure it's the 41 millimeter or the 40. I can't remember. Fits really well on the wrist. Very comfy. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah. Very smooth. Very comfortable. Yeah. I put a couple dings in it already. I've scratched the bezel a bit. But I don't think I'll get it polished. Adds character.
Yeah, indeed. I haven't polished mine. I've got scratches on my GMT. It doesn't really matter. That adds to the story.
Yeah, always every. I mean, just like what Toe Mater said back in Cars 2, every ding is a story.
Exactly.
Every ding is an event. Yeah. There's my collection. Not too much, not too little. Perfect. I think it is. Yeah. Oh, well, thanks for having me, guys.
Brilliant. Right. Well, I mean, does anyone have any questions first before you leave?
Nope. Okie dokie.
Maybe.
All right. Well, rest of the people showing, have fun. Wish you luck. You guys take care.
Cheers, Junkie. Honestly, great having you.
Yeah, thank you. See you guys.
Right, so oh, service. Let's see, right, so who do we have next up? We got Zorro next up.
Okay. My normal camera is pretty shit when it comes to focusing. So I'm on the phone right now. Oh,
good.
I don't know if that's gonna work. We'll try it out. Okay, guys, this is going to be a speed run. It's a pure addiction at this point. And you may or may not see a reoccurring theme in some of these watches, but that's the path I took in my watch journey here. So I'll start it out with my first watch, which I just misplaced. There we go. A couple of my watches need a new battery replacement, but the Iron Man digital watch by Timex, great, rugged, all around good watch. So from there, I upgraded a little bit. I started watching the Urban Gentry channel on YouTube, which if you have not checked out the Urban Gentry channel, you definitely should. It's a wealth of knowledge. Cristiano has got some great material out there. Got myself an SKX. This is a SKX 009J model, which means made in Japan. This is currently broken, actually. And then from there, I've got another. These are the Patty versions that we're looking at of these dive watches. I love dive watches. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah. Are you good? Yeah, brilliant.
Cool. Okay, we're going to keep going here. Guess what? It's another freaking Patty Seiko dive watch. This is the Seiko Turtle with its big buffer case. I think it got popularized around 60s or 70s, and they came out with a re-edition of it. Great all around. I mean, you can't destroy these watches. They're so freaking beefy. I love it. Another Patty watch there. And this was the first watch I got that I was like, oh my God. Once I get this watch, everything is going to be fine. I won't need another watch again. And it's a big boy. This is the Patty Tuna, but I really like that sunburst dial. And also the bezel's kind of got that like anodized aluminum feel too. It is a huge watch. As you can probably imagine, but yeah. So we have that. Started watching Bruce Willis's watch channel on YouTube, and he did a video on this Seiko. Some of you guys may have seen this. This is another Seiko Patty. The dial, I don't know if that's coming out. The dial on this is just like so textured. It's insane. Stands
Yeah,
out
it's
in the
cool.
sun like crazy. Okay. Guess what? Another Seiko, another Patty. This is the Arnie edition with the display on top.
Oh, that's cool.
Just
Yeah.
a beefy watch. Okay. And from there, I was like, you know what? I want to get a master for. I want to get the best dive watch Seiko's got. So I got the Seiko Tuna Marine Master. The loom on the Marine Masters is completely different than the regular loom. It's above and beyond. It literally is a flashlight. But I mean, this is just a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And from there, I decided to go with a Seiko Flight Master.
That's oh,
You
there's a
either
lot going on
really
there.
like a busy dial or you don't. But this
Yeah.
is one of the highest value aviation watches that money can buy. Just a beautiful piece. TGV at the Urban Gentry channel did a great video on this watch. I love it. Definitely a staple in my collection.
There's a lot
Okay.
going on that dial. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a beautiful watch. Okay, so let's keep going here. Let's shift over to Citizens. Wait, no, more Seikos to come. I recently got this guy. This is also a tuna. Or no, sorry, this is another version of an Arnie. It does have a depth gauge on it, and it's a little bit different than my other Arnie, Patty, because the display is on the bottom as opposed to the top. Another take of a watch. You
Yeah.
can kind of see my style here.
Very junky.
Okay.
Love it.
So, Citizens, this is a Citizen ProMaster Navihawk. Gotta love the busy dials there. This one is GPS, so atomic time, anywhere around the world.
Yeah.
Hefty watch. These are all really heavy watches. Hey, next Citizens. This is my titanium Blue Angel that I picked up last year.
Oh yeah, that's
Light as a
cool.
feather.
I love the yellow
You can't
bits on the bezel. That's awesome.
you cannot feel this watch on your wrist. I love it. And that whatever movement they have in this watch, they've been doing that movement in some way, shape, or form with a different dial for probably 15 years, or if not more. But they just keep banging out winners. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a limited edition, or yeah, this is a limited edition. Another Blue Angel from Citizen.
Yeah, they're all very busy.
Okay.
Oh, it's yellow as well, though. That's really cool.
Yeah, Blue Angels are the elite. If you guys aren't familiar or not from America, they're pretty much the best of the best in our Air Force, and they retire and they go and do shows. Okay, so let's do all my digital watches. This is a ProTech ABC watch, altitude barometer compass. Pick that up this year. And a dead Casio Pathfinder.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
And it's my
Classic.
G-Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close. Okay. This is a really interesting watch. If you guys haven't checked out Vostok watches, pretty unique history. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union put their best engineers onto making a really high value dive watch. They pretty much gave them an Omega and said, make this Omega, but for like 1/3 of the price. I think this has 36 jewels in it. I've attached a shark mesh bracelet. It's kind of a really, they call that the scuba dude in the Vostok world, but like an aquamarine dial. Really pretty. Kind of like my Seiko turtle with that buffer case. All right, let's move over to Swiss watches. Or wait, no, I got two more. Sorry. This is an Orient beefy dive watch, currently broken. And this is a GMT that I got from Long Island Watch. If you watch his channel, a little different, gold, red, blue. Okay, Swiss watches. This watch I'm about to show you now changed the game for me. When I got this watch, I was like, this is really it this time. This is the Squale 1521 50 Atmos dive watch, and it is without question the most beautiful version of blue I have ever seen in my life. Love this watch to death. Squale's got a pretty stapled history of making cases for, I believe, Rolex. And then they finally came out and started making their own watches a while back. But what a full blue. There is no other blue like that on the market. It is absolutely nuts. Of course, got the NATO strap to accent the minute hand there. Love this watch. Love that watch. Okay. And another Hamilton Khaki King. Saw the Interstellar movie and could not live without it. Hamilton is just, I mean, they've always been in Hollywood, but just such a clean dial. Look at those numbers, how they shimmer, reflect. They're textured.
Wow.
Love the open case back. Great watch. Very comfortable as well, like he said. Hey, last two. My Oris Aquas.
That green
Just
is
like
stunning.
my 50 Atmos, the green on this Oris Aquas is unlike anything I've ever seen. Really doesn't do it justice right now. But I wore the shit out of this watch. I like it on the rubber. I like this watch on the rubber band. Just it works well for what I do at work. Often having to wear gloves, get sweaty. And the iconic red case back. I think they call that like a coffee. They call that profile right there like not a coffee, but like a, I don't know. There's a name for that. I can't think of it. And of course, one of the things I think is so funny about the Oris is that they have replaceable. Come on now, they have replaceable crown guards, as if you're knocking your watch so much that you're gonna have to replace the crown guards.
I mean, that's interesting, but not
Beautiful,
gonna lie, useful.
beautiful watch. And my current favorite watch, and I've told this to many of you, I'm still in the honeymoon phase.
The GMT.
The Tudor Black Bay GMT.
I'm exactly the same as you.
And
I'm
it
still in the
is
honeymoon phase. I absolutely love it.
it is noticeably, it is the most precise watch I have. I'm just shocked with the moving from watches that aren't COSC certified to an actual COSC certified watch. you notice a difference. I mean, this watch loses maybe 3 seconds every 3 days. Depends, but this is my baby right now. I've got way too many watches, but that's what happens when you get in your mid 30s and you're single and you have no kids. And yeah, I've really enjoyed listening to everybody's stories, and you guys have been a good group for me to come in here and. Well, I mean, I basically have no one else to talk about watches with, so I really appreciate you guys. And
Oh, we love
what a
having you
great
coming
collection
on.
we all have.
We indeed we do. It's a great like diverse collection we all have, and especially you. It's a really diverse collection. Like I love all the different styles and everything like that. You don't tend to keep it the same with colors or anything. You really just experiment, which I really, really, really respect.
Yeah, thank you. I clearly do. I have an addiction to dive watches, but yeah, I like a little bit of variety and color for sure.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah. The GMT is great. Like I absolutely love it. It's just there's no complaints for me from it at all. I mean, the only complaints that people can really have, in my opinion, is the fact that it may be slightly chunky with the size of the case. But apart from that, genuinely, in my opinion, the watch is basically perfect. Like there's nothing wrong with it.
Oh yeah. My wrists are pretty thick, so I can pull it off. Here's what I forgot. This is a reactor watch.
Well, that's
No
cool.
name. This has radium in it, I believe. So a little bit
Well, that's awesome.
radioactive.
Yeah,
Beefy guy.
I
And
love
that's
that
it.
bezel color.
Thanks, guys. What's that?
That bezel color is absolutely beautiful. It's like a sort of like a brownie type color.
On the Oris?
No, on the radioactive watch you just showed.
It's deceivingly black, but it's kind of like a flat black on that bezel right there.
Oh yes,
But
no,
yeah.
yeah, it may be the light coming across. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Don't have too many quartz watches, other than my digitals, but this is one, and it will last I mean, it is a chunker. Also, one note of you were talking about cons of the tutor. Um, there is one con to the tutor that I do not like, and that is that the links can only be adjusted on one side of this watch. So
Yeah, that is one thing.
if you wear it on your wrist, it ever so slightly like it's forced to like kick back because it's got so much curve right there because you can't take the links out. Um, but other than that, it's a 10 out of 10. I love it.
Yeah, great. Really is. Right, guys, questions. COSC. By the way, Dora, COSC. COSC is it's a certification. Hassan put it, or sorry, Rado put it in there. It's a certification that you can get with a Swiss watch, and essentially it means that it runs. I believe you can maybe quote me on this. I think it's either +3 -3 or +6 -6 per day in terms of accuracy. So it's
Yeah.
essentially a certification that the watch is going to run very, 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 very true to time.
Mm-hmm. And you know
Yeah,
what?
-2 +4. Cheers, Quig.
This Hamilton 2 runs like, I mean, it runs like a gem. Hamilton is really on top of their game. They always have been, and I love having that full day displayed.
Yeah, awesome. Like a Rolex
Yeah.
Day or something. You know, I've never tried on a Hamilton. I've tried on. You would have thought that I would have tried on a Hamilton before a Patek or before a like a Richard Mille or something, but apparently not.
Yeah. If anybody's posting questions in the comments, just let me know because I can't see them. But I really
Oh yeah.
appreciate y'all's time.
With
Like,
the Odin has asked, with the reactive watch, is it possible to see the reactor's loom at all? It may be a bit bright.
so uh these watches lose their radioactive loom after about 12 years due to radioactive decay. So it's not as bright as it used to be. Um, but I mean,
Oh, that's cool.
it's a flashlight, dude. And that's a lot of the loom you're looking at, but You can kind of see the little tubes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dangerous though, but awesome.
Yeah. Really easy to tell the time with that watch. I love the simplicity of the circular markers on dive watches. For me, it's a whole lot easier to just look down 1 second and know exactly what time it is.
Yeah.
That being said, I've got watches like this too, so that are, completely different. So, gosh, I love this Flight Master as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's always good to have a good variety because you never know. You may wake up one day and just decide, oh, I want to wear something different.
It's been Tudor 24/7 ever since I I bought the thing. I just
Yeah, I
can't
have to say,
take it off
I
my
love my
wrist.
PRX and it means a lot to me. But since I got my Tudor, yeah, it's a daily thing now.
Another thing, I don't know if you guys have heard of Long Island Watch, but look at this might be one of my favorite case backs ever. And this is not like a Swiss watch or even a Japanese watch. I'm gonna try and get this here. It's a lighthouse. Come on.
Oh, right,
Bear
yeah, I
with me.
saw it there we go. Oh, that's
Beautiful.
cool. Yeah.
Yep. That's it, guys.
Brilliant. Right. Well, Zorro, thank you very much. Are there any questions that anybody has? Um, it looks like I think that's it. Let me shut up a bit. I think is the Tudor very chunky? I mean, Odin, I can answer that one as well as Zorro. Is it chunky? I don't know the exact millimeter of it. I probably should do, but is it chunky? Really, to be honest with you, it depends on your wrist, in my humble opinion.
It is. I think I don't. I think it's I think it's a 40 or a 42.
It's a 40.
No. It's at least
It's a
a
41.
42.
Yeah,
Is it
no,
a
no, no.
41?
It's a 41, but the case thickness, I can't remember how much it is. However, I'd say if you were going to get one, definitely go and try it in person a few times. I mean, I like it, and I like it a bit chunkier. It is a little bit top
It's
heavy, but
chunky.
I personally don't mind that. It's great. It
It's a
really
little
is. It's really great.
chunky, but I mean, it slides under a cuff. But I mean, it's not a dress watch.
It's not though.
The cool thing about this GMT is that it's 200 meters water resistant. Um, and not all the GMTs can say that. But yeah, it's a big boy.
Exactly.
I think I
Right.
paid. I think I paid 4,200 for this second hand, and I have already wabi sabi the shit out of it, scuffed it up. It's got some personality, but I mean,
Must be
God, I
beautiful.
love this watch.
Yeah, so
Love those
good.
colors.
Yeah,
Love
they're
the
absolutely
red.
phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Zorro, thank you very much for coming along. Absolutely great to see your collection again.
Thank you. I
Yeah, thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Exactly. Pleasure as always. Pleasure as always. So Rado, or however people want to pronounce the name. So I think everyone seems to have a different way of saying it.
Hey, man.
Right.
Yeah, no
Brilliant.
problem.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm all right. Just working diligently.
Indeed. Indeed. Very good.
Give me just a second here. Let me get this together.
You're
I don't know
absolutely fine.
why.
You're absolutely fine.
Let's see. Hey, it's my forehead. Hey, guys. That's what I was trying to do. Why is it not going to let me spin the camera? What's that about?
If we can see your beautiful forehead once more, I think if you go on like the top right, I think there's a little camera like flip button. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong though.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good shit. Okay, cool. All right, so hi guys. I guess how much time do I have?
You're
20, right?
we're running a little bit like differently to a schedule. So to be honest with you, just go on.
Okay, all right. So most of my collection is going to be Rados. We'll see how much time I end up having. Here is a Rado NCC 505 from the mid 70s. This case has been polished. It's usually a bit more defined. This is the bezel has been smoothed out quite a bit. It looks good though. This is an original bracelet. This is the it's called the snake bite bracelet. It's pretty cool, hard to come by. Very very unique design. You don't
Cool.
see, yeah, neat, right? Um, that's a cool watch. This has an ETA. I forget which ETA movement is in here. Um, but let's see. I can't really get a good picture of this, but yeah, it says it right there, NCC 505. But I forget what the movement is. So when they went to these watches, they actually designed a new style of um, case for the movement. So normally, it's a shame. I wish I could open this up right now. I don't, my tools are elsewhere. Normally, you would have the gasket around like the enclosure of the case back. This, they actually decided to encase the entire movement with a plastic bladder, with a silicone bladder.
Okay.
So that, yeah, it's neat. So that when you actually tighten down the screws on this case, it actually properly seals in the movement. This one does not have the original crystal. This is just it's not even mineral glass. This is just plastic, but it's got the original everything else. Original crown, signed crown, original dial. But since this was polished, all of the gold plating that was originally on here has been polished off. That's all right. You know, makes
The
sense.
bracelet is so cool.
It's neat, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I have another bracelet for it. So these came with two style of bracelets. This was the original bracelet they used, and then they went over to a different bracelet. Um, but it's pretty cool.
It is really unique.
I guess I'll just leave them out so I don't have to keep putting them away. I'll put them away later. So, this is I guess I could do it in proper order. I guess I'll do that. Albeit I'm working on this one's watch band, but so all right. So this is the Rado Manhattan.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
This was released in the mid 60s. And they kept selling them up until like 72, 73. But it's called the Manhattan because the case design was designed in with regards to the shape of a high rise from Manhattan. Yeah, it's funny enough, this is actually where TV dial cases came from. Um, Rado started the trend for rectangular shaped watches in this horizontally shaped, so rectangular.
They
And then they
invented
went
it the
on
other
to,
day.
yeah, man. um, this is not the original crystal. It is the original dial. And as you can see, it has three things here for the date windows. So the first one is actually redundant. It says 1 and then Monday, and then what is it? The 13th. It says, but obviously it's not. The one is actually referring to the day of the week.
Oh, so you'd have like 1 to 7.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
yeah, it's a quirky thing that they did. It's neat though. It's cool.
Oh, that is technically a day date.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's a day date for sure.
Yeah, beautiful. Dial's
It
awesome
has.
on that as well.
It's quite nice. Case back is neat.
Yeah, very cool. Really cool shape.
Yeah. I have the pins out of this bracelet right now, but this is an original Novatit. Novatit. I don't know how to say it. NSA bracelet.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks comfy.
Yeah, this bracelet is super, super comfy. The reason why I have it dismantled right now is because I stole the pin out of it for another watch. Mhm. But that watch turned into that was the Rado Manhattan. So that watch turned into this guy. Um, this is the Rado Manhattan Mark II.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So differences, but you could definitely see like it's the same family, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. So they made the case bigger. So the original Rado Manhattan is 36 millimeters across by 34 millimeters tall.
Okay.
This is 38 millimeters across by 38 millimeters tall.
That's cool. Yeah.
Which is neat, but the way that it looks more rectangular than a box is due to the bezel shape. They really did some smart engineering here. Because it's not really like, the bezel is sloped. So you can't really tell without a micrometer that it's actually 38 by 38.
Yeah.
It looks more 38 by 36. But anyway, this was made in 1972 until 1974-ish. This is incredibly hard to find. This bracelet is an actual original bracelet.
The Red
And
have
it
some cool
looks,
bracelets.
yeah, and if you could feel this watch is so heavy.
Yeah, it
This
looks
this
chunky.
it's super chunky. This watch is so heavy.
Zoro asked if we could see it on the wrist.
Yeah, sure. Let me take off my current watch. I'll throw that one on.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. I don't know too much about Rado. I don't know loads and loads about it. Like I've seen them in stores, I've seen them in shops. I've never actually handled one though.
They are quite nice. So I would say if you want to experience a Rado, you should definitely start at an AD somewhere. And by the way, the printing for the bracelet for Rado is actually on the inside. You never see it on the inside. They usually have it on the outside. I'll throw it on in a second. But yeah, your best bet is to go to an actual AD to get a feel because there's so many Franken Rados out there, and you might believe that a Rado is not up to snuff as far as like denoting its price point, but when you put on a genuine Rado anything, it's quite nice finishing. So this is the Manhattan Mark II.
Yeah, brace is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's clean.
It reminds me a bit of the PRX.
These watches are incredibly rare. They're often almost always just named Arado Manhattan. You'll almost never see it named as a Mark II because most people don't know the difference, honestly. And these were only made for a limited time, a couple of years at best. And they were still releasing other watches. So yeah, it's one of my favorites. It feels the best to wear. As far as comfort goes. It
Yeah, right, yeah.
is. It's also it's one of my Grail watches because it's the perfect size. It feels so good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Rado was still around making new stuff. I just looked them up.
Yeah, they got some really cool stuff. I
How do
like
you
they did
feel
like a
about their new stuff compared to the vintage stuff, which seems to be most of what you're interested in?
It's good stuff. Some of their designs are kind of lacking, I would say. They make a watch fashioned after that Manhattan Mark II and such. It's called the True Square, the Rado True Square.
Mm-hmm.
And they make some references to that make it look like a watch you would get out of a gumball machine. It's it's sad, man. And they're asking, 3,500 USD for that. It's fucking nuts.
I mean, that
But
seems pretty expensive, like compared to some of the other Rados I've seen.
yeah, and especially with all that you can get from Rado, there's certain designs that are just not great. But I like it. I like the newest Captain Cooks look great. They look stellar. The Thin Line series is killer. Fully ceramic watches and bracelets. They're neat. In a variety of colors. They look great. This is a mid '60s, I believe, it's 67, 1967 Rado Starliner day night.
Yeah, that's cool. That dial again is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's something else. It's pretty amazing, honestly. Um, these hour and minute markers, these hour markers, I should say, are so the white is actually enamel paint, and they are convex, so they come to a point. Um, although you can't
Oh,
really. Yeah, they're neat. I'd have to show an up close photo of it. It's hard to get, especially in this video. But it's quite nice. This is original. I don't have the original bracelet. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Here we go. I'll put it in this direction. So this has an R emblem on the crown.
okay, yeah.
Bef- Before Rado went to the anchor that you see, the movable anchor that's in their dials, before they went to that for their crowns, they used to use an R symbol for their crowns. Very, very, very rare comparatively. It's incredibly rare to find their watches with the R symbol on the crown. You'll more than especially because a lot of these watches had repairs and were overhauled, and they didn't make the R symbol for very long. So a lot of these crowns that got really worn out or just became irreparable were replaced with anchor crown symbol crowns, and it makes sense, but it's incredibly rare to find one with an R symbol on it. And
Yeah.
the back of this is also, hold on one second. It's pretty neat. That's another big thing that I like about a lot of the older Rados is just like the design of the actual case back. It's so cool, man. Um, Another thing is a lot of times you will see these polished to death, so you won't see the sharpness of the case back. It'll be a lot more smoothed out. Um,
Yeah.
this is in a relatively excellent condition for what it is. I got really lucky. I got that for so cheap. I got that for so cheap.
It's amazing to think things like of that, like, I mean, especially things that get used like watches, they keep in that good condition that people actually keep them in that good condition and they survived until now.
Yeah, it blows my mind. I don't know. I wear my watches to death.
Yeah, I do
I'm
as
really.
well.
Yeah, do you?
I mean, my GMT literally is it's every day. Every day.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Working on grabbing some other stuff.
No
So,
worries.
I will show you the watch that I was just wearing. Um, this is a Rado Daymaster 999.
That's cool again. Oh,
Yeah,
the Rado emblem on the top in purple, is that raised?
yeah. So what it is, it's an anchor symbol. I don't know if it's built into. I'm not quite sure how they make them, but that purple that you see is actually a synthetic jewel that you would normally use within a movement.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a metal anchor. Their symbol. I don't know if it's. I've never actually taken one apart to look. I don't know if it's like made with the crystal or if they make the Rado anchor and then they injection mold that synthetic ruby into that mold. I don't know how the hell they make those.
Yeah, good.
Um, but this is from the late 60s. Um, yeah, this just has the traditional anchor symbol. But again, you can see the case back. It's very similar. This one's real similar to the Starliner. It was made around the same time, um, which is why you see that. And it's got just a leather bracelet or whatever. But I just bought another one of these.
Awesome.
Uh,
Awesome.
with the this crystal's in a lot worse shape, as you can see. But it has one of the original bracelets for it.
Oh, that's
They
funky. Yeah.
they did do different bracelets for this. This is an NSA. You'll see a lot of these. This is their most common bracelet that they used. I was planning on buying another NSA bracelet, but um, yeah, this one has been overhauled recently. This one has not. But very much the same watch.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, the thing with the crowns, it reminds me of Tudor a bit because, I mean, they have technically two emblems. You've got the shield, and you've also got the Tudor rose. And the GMT, for example, on the dial has the Tudor shield, but um, on the crown has the Tudor rose.
Okay. Let's see if I can show you an example. So I'll try on this one. So as you can see, so the crown, it's facing down right now. But if you look, digga, 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 the crown actually moves. Did it already move? No, not yet. So it's still facing down. Let's see if I can get it to move. Yep, moves all around. So it's pretty neat. They say that when that symbol stops moving, that you need to get it serviced.
It's quite neat. Yeah, it's a bit like the like on Rolls Royce, how they have the center of the wheels. They will always be remaining up. I think it's because of something they do, maybe with like a weight or a magnet or something.
Okay, that makes sense. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you like see them like rolling along slowly, you'll notice the double R emblem in the center of the alloys. They'll be like kind of like floating like flat. It's really strange to see, but it's really cool.
That is neat. I gotta check that out. Let's see what else I will show. So I have some in their respective cases. This,
Beautiful cases. Wow.
yeah, cool. It's this is a leather bound wooden case. It's quite nice.
Reminds
This,
me a bit of Cartier.
yeah, honestly, it's not, the finishing isn't quite up to snuff comparative, but this is a Rado Balboa Deluxe. Balboa V Deluxe, excuse me. These were Japanese only released. So the Diastar line was available in Japan, but they changed the name of Diastar to Balboa. And then they made different case designs that they only used in Japan. This is one such case design. So the case is tungsten carbide ceramic, which they do
Very
buy
fancy.
in. It's super nice. I'm getting my greasy fingerprints all over it, so you can't see just how pretty it is. But these fingerprint up incredibly easily. Um, they do an injection molding and then blast furnace to get these case designs into these shapes. They have to polish the cases with a diamond brush. So because nothing, it's this is I think a 9 on the Mohs scale. This
Oh
tungsten
Christ.
carbide. Yeah. Um, so you can't even scratch this with steel at all. I could take a steel brush to this and it would do nothing to the case. I could take a
That's
steel.
amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I could take geez, I could take a knife to it and it wouldn't scratch this. Um, and surprisingly, it actually has a sapphire crystal. This one's flat. Usually, they would use faceted crystals for a lot of their other stuff. But also, this has, if you can see the dial itself shining the way it does, this has what is called um, blue tiger's eye.
Okay.
Or
Oh, there
another,
I see. Yeah.
yeah. Um, or another word for it would be hawk's eye, semi-precious mineral dial. And this is in one of the reasons. So I actually bought 2 of these. I bought one for my fiance and one for myself.
Oh, sweet.
Obviously, I kept the one with the nicer dial because why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
um, but this is all original. This is the original bracelet. So it's another NSA bracelet, but it's two-tone. Even down to the which I'm surprised this is in such nice condition. It doesn't. You'll see a lot of these. It'll rub away from desk rash. It's only gold plated. This isn't true like 18 carats. It's a stainless steel setup. Um, but still
Yeah.
really nice. Hard to come by. You don't often see these NSA bracelets too much. Um, and they did the backs a little different too. Let me do this real quick.
They're also. I mean, it's almost like impossible to scratch that case, though.
Yeah, it is. So a lot of times with these cases, they won't get scratched. What'll end up happening is somebody will break them So they're incredibly scratch resistant, but if you whack them really hard, like if you fell off a motorcycle or off a roof or whatever onto concrete, the impact can crack these.
Okay.
So usually if you see a dead case of one of these, it's because it got broken. So this is honestly, this is kind of rare for Balboas. Usually most like a dinner plate, yeah. uh Usually you'll see this logo will actually be um it'll be its own separate piece of metal and then it's glued into here, which is actually factory original. But this particular model, it's rare because this is actually, um, raised up on the case back. It's
Yeah.
a part of the case. Usually they're you know blasted onto there. But yeah, very very rare. This one has the first iteration of the 2824 ETA movement. So it is a 2824-1 ETA movement. From what I can tell, there are 4 levels of the 2824-1 movement. There is the standard, which has, I think, plus or minus 30 seconds a day. There is is it called premium? I think it's called premium. Premium version, which is plus or minus 15 to 20 seconds a day. There is, I forget the third level. It's either elite or something like that, which is plus or minus 7 to 10 seconds a day. And then there is a chronometer spec 2824-1 ETA movement, and that is what is used in here. This is a chronometer spec Rado from 1974. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, that is really cool. That entire package of that watch is just insane.
Thank you.
Very cool, Kanye. Very cool.
Oh, thank you. I'll show a couple more. So this is another one. I like this box a lot. It's really cool. Really nice. So this is gonna be a this is a 1974 NCC 101. This was the not yet, Bon. That'll be next up. This is all original. This is the original case that came with it. This is it's neat, man. It's super cool. It's the original
such
case.
good.
It's the original everything. Bezel, give me 1 second. Bracelet, everything. Everything all original. The only thing I don't have are its papers, which is disappointing.
It looks like you've literally just lifted it out from brand new.
Yeah, this is essentially new old stock.
So cool.
Yeah, very hard to come by bracelet. Again, a lot of times it would have been that snake bite bracelet you would see. So when I was
Yeah, but
telling
this is
you,
like a more Jubilee, I guess, type bracelet.
yeah, for sure. It's very different. This is it'll be similar to the NCC 505, with what they wrote on the back and all that jazz. This is another ETA movement. What ETA movement is it? Good question. It's got the triple date over there window, but it's a day date, but it has the redundant first one, which also this makes it a very early NCC 101 as far as the production run time, because they eventually did away with the redundant number in later models, so it would just be the day date. Like for instance, with this Daymaster, it only is day and date. They chose to do the day, like the numbered day of the week, just for more quirkiness. But this is a 40, is it 40 millimeters? It's either 40 or 42 millimeters wide by 44 millimeters tall. I'll put this one on my my wrist. This bracelet is super tight. I wanted to put I have another bracelet for it, but I need to file down the end links to get it to actually fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just yeah. Okay. Let's stretch this. All right. Yeah. Oh, don't hurt the bracelet.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Always got to be careful.
Yeah, it's so it looks really good.
Oh yeah, that does look awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great on a wrist. It's stellar, man. It's a killer watch. I don't wear this one too much because it's so nice, and also the bracelet has an extension feature in the
Oh, that's
clasp.
very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. Um, yeah, again, all original. Um, and I do have another bracelet for it, and I do need to put it on so that I can wear this watch. But yep, this was also so this is part of the NCC line. So they started out with the Rado Manhattan Mark II, and then they went to this guy. So this was the next iteration in the Rado Manhattan line. They did NCC 101, NCC 202, 303, 404, and 505. I don't have a 202 or a 303 because I technically I prefer the shape of this watch and the shape of the Manhattan Mark II more so. The other ones got huger and huger. They're like, I think the 202 is 44 millimeters wide by 46 millimeters tall. It's enormous. And unless you're like 6'3" or better, it's gonna look ridiculous on you. Yeah, they actually Rado set the stage for a lot. Um, they set the stage for a lot of stuff. So here is another Rado. Original box. This is going to be another chronometer spec Rado. And this is a Rado Diastar chronometer spec.
Perfect.
So let's clean up that crystal real quick.
Bonsai's pleased you showing it.
This is faceted
Wow.
sapphire crystal. It's gorgeous. Hey, it's good looking, Rado. Yeah, I was gonna buy one of those, Kevin. Yeah, this is a tungsten carbide case, silver tungsten carbide case. But it has this is a just 8. But it is chronometer spec. So this is Rado's first chronometer spec watch they ever released. And this is COSC certified. This was released in May of 1974. May of 1974. That's exactly when this watch was made. This is a 2885. I forget the ETA that it is. They only made a chronometer spec movement for this watch. That ETA movement that's in this watch normally is not chronometer spec. It's kind of a trash ETA movement normally, but this one was all buttered up and doctored up and made into what it is. This is an original NSA bracelet. This also moves. This is the proper stretch. A lot of times the springs inside of here will have given way.
Because I don't have any. Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually yep. That is yep. That is it. 2787 ETA movement. That's right. Or no, that is the in-house number that Rado used to describe the movement. It's actually not a 2787. But yes. Let's see if I can show the case back of this. This one is all original. So this is original case, crystal, original bracelet, everything all original.
Yeah, there's always something special about having it all original.
It's cool, man. It's pretty neat. So as you can see, it's kind of more of a rounded case back, and this case at some point had been polished, or not the case back at some point had been polished because the letter raising on the back of this is almost impossible to read, but still all original. It's quite nice. This one was recently overhauled as well, so it is a true chronometer. It's pretty neat. Yeah, this is 36 millimeters by 38, is it? It might be 36 by 36, but I'm not sure. Let's see. This one's going to be tight too. I never properly adjusted this. Yeah. So this is what it looks like on me. Not bad. It's pretty cool. It looks stellar in sunlight. It looks killer in sunlight.
Yeah.
And these bracelets are super comfy. I will say these bracelets are super comfy. Yeah, I'm with you, Zoro. It doesn't really work for my wrist either. It's the reason why I'm selling that watch. It's a shame. I love the look of the watch. It's just it doesn't really suit me.
Yeah, I mean that's completely fair.
Yeah, Omega has made some stellar stuff. Even their TV dial cases are pretty incredible. Let's see. I have more stuff. I haven't showed you guys this yet. I haven't showed you guys that either. Here, I'll show you something. This is probably going to be my ugliest Rado that I own.
Yeah.
This is a Rado Golden City.
It's really cool. The
ori-
bezel's almost like a fluted.
It is, yeah, it is a fluted bezel. The day date window is at the 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so unique, so cool.
That's so cool. All original. Surprisingly, this is the original bracelet for this goofy watch. It's another NSA bracelet, but it is a different version of NSA bracelets. You almost never see this bracelet on anything. The bracelet is worth more than the watch. Honestly.
Yeah.
This is not cleaned up and not it has the wrong crown on it and everything. But it's cool. It's different. I think I paid like $125 for this, which is pretty stellar, realistically. The bracelet itself is like $150. So what the hell? I got a free watch for a bracelet.
Very cool.
And then I will show you something else. I will show you something Rado affiliated, but not a watch.
What are they?
This is, yeah, man. This is a cufflink set that was only made available for Rado VIPs. This is unused. This is new old stock. This was originally 25,000 yen. And you check it out. So it has the Rado symbol, and the Rado symbol moves inside.
Like a rotor.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Very cool.
That neat. And they all do that. All of the anchor symbols in the entire set move. There's the cufflinks, there's the tie clip. Cool, man. It's cool stuff.
Very nice.
Normally, the Rado cufflink set you'll see is not this. This was genuinely only made to VIPs and such. So if you look up Rado cufflink set, you're not going to find this. It don't exist. I will show you my last Rado related watch. This is a Technos. So Technos is now, I think it's a Brazilian watch company now. But in the 70s, they did pairings with Rado. This is a tungsten carbide ceramic case made by Rado for Technos. Also, the sapphire crystal, faceted sapphire, made by Rado for Technos. And this is actually also a Hawk's Eye dial. So this is Blue Tiger's Eye for the dial again. Not as nice a quality as my Balboa Deluxe, but still nice. It's pretty cool. You don't ever hear about Technos. These are if vintage Wados were undervalued, Technos is way undervalued. Albeit their movements are garbage, so maybe not undervalued. But they're cool watches nonetheless.
All right, awesome. Was that
Yep.
all that you had?
How much do I have any more time or no?
We're over on time for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's it.
You were going super deep, so we were just like, all right, we'll let it roll.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, we really appreciate you showing those to us. Sounds like Zoro has a new affliction that he's gonna have to deal with. But yeah, man, we really appreciate that. Let's see. I'll go ahead and move you back down. And all right, so this is my collection. Um, I guess I'll just start top left and just go. So this is a Pagani homage that I have. It's a Datejust 41 homage. Um, it's kind of a shitter. It was like $100. The bracelet is not very comfortable, but I do like 5-link Jubilee, and I do like the fluted bezel on it. It's Seiko NH35. This one was given to me from my brother, so I am trying to get rid of that soon. This one, so somebody else earlier had an AE 1200. Well, this AE 1200 is a little bit special. It looks like a normal AE 1200. However, this has been modded with a mod kit from SKX Mod. So this is actually a full stainless steel case, a sapphire crystal, and a stainless steel solid link bracelet instead of the folded one that you get that Casio gives you. So, yeah, I mean, there's something to be said about me spending $100 or $150 on a mod kit for a $20 watch. But gives it some quite the amount of heft. Feels a lot more satisfying in your wrist. It also has an anti-scratch coating on it, so it's a little bit more durable. Don't have to worry about getting scratches on the old like acrylic crystal or anything like that. Just a little bit more durable. Gives it some more meat behind it, I would say. This is the most expensive watch in my collection. This is the Bulova Lunar Pilot. This is the original 45mm version. I've always been a huge space and NASA nerd. So my grail being a Speedmaster Moonwatch, I of course had to pick up one of these because other than the Speedmaster, this is the only other watch to have walked on the surface of the moon. The original one was a prototype below a chronograph that was given by the president of Bulova to the mission commander of Apollo 15. And he originally wore his NASA issued Speedmaster for the first 2 EVAs while they were on the lunar surface. During the second one, however, the crystal popped off of his NASA-issued Speedmaster. So, for the third EVA on August 2nd, 1971, he wore his personal Bulova that was given to him, and that became the second and only other watch to walk on the lunar surface other than a Speedmaster. Some of the reasons I like this, and what I would even say is an advantage over the Speedmaster is, unlike the Speedmaster who has an exterior bezel for the tachometer, the tachometer on the Lunar Pilot is actually a raised section that is still underneath the crystal. And it's it is a relatively thick watch, especially for the fact that this is technically a quartz. But you can see that crystal it sticks out up above the actual case. So it's a very thick crystal on there, but it protects that tachymeter bezel. Now, one thing that's cool about the reissue of these is this is using Bulova's new high beat quartz movement. So this actually beats at a 262 kilohertz beat rate. So it uses a much bigger battery. It's what they call their precisionist movement. The accuracy on this is about +1 second a year. plus or minus 1 second a year, because of how high the beat is. I love it. I use the NATO that this came on. It has the date of the mission it was worn on, the ultra high frequency, and then it has the beat rate 262,144 hertz. And then, as you saw on the inside on the case back, it has the Apollo 15 mission information as well as the date for the EVA there. So it says Apollo 15, July 26, 1971 to August 7th, 1971. EVA 3, August 2nd, 1971. Then it has the location on the lunar surface, Hadley Riley, Apienes, 26.13 degrees north, 3.63 degrees east, which I find very, very cool. I think that's a really nice touch. When you buy these, there are a couple of different models of them. There's a meteorite dial one now that's very nice. They also have a bracelet option, which is really nice. They do cost a little bit more. And then they also have a Snoopy homage version, which is the blue and white one. So Jade showed off his Bertucci. This is my Bertucci. I picked this up basically as new old stock on Mercari. This is an A2F. So this, instead of being metal, this is a fiber reinforced composite or resin. This has a really nice, thick, comfortable Zulu style strap. Also came with a wrist mounted compass, which is really neat. I do have to agree with Jade. These are fantastic field watches, especially for the money. And these resin ones are really cheap. I want to say I maybe spent like $30 on this thing. I mean, they're not pricey at all. Very nice eye accuracy Miyota. This one has Swiss lume on it, so this actually, out of all my watches, has some of the brightest lume that I have found. Very nice watch. I like to wear this whenever I'm going out hunting or anything outdoorsy. Just because, again, it's cheap, so if it gets busted up, don't give a shit. The wrist compass really comes in handy when you're navigating out there. Very cool little beater watch. I don't wear it all the time, but it is one of my favorite field watches to wear actually out in the field. The next two watches are very near and dear to me. So this is my A700, which is and probably always will be my favorite Casio of all time. Just because of how fucking cool and classy it looks. I mean, the panel bracelet, the colors. Let me see if it'll show. It's not focusing, but you can see how they have like the purple and green and the blue colors for the alarms, and chrono indicators and stuff across the top. This has that very cool retro, like 80s styling. Again, very simple clasp on there. The backlight on this is also much better than like your typical F91W. If I can get it to show. Yeah, see it has the orange EL backlight. This one's special for me because this was actually one of the first watches I ever got. My wife bought it for me for my birthday last year. I have only been in the hobby for about a year. But that was the first one I got. She gave that to me for my birthday. My next one, also another Casio. This is an AQ230. And our friend Koning, who presented earlier, actually has this exact same watch. I got married wearing this watch. And it actually matches very well with my wedding ring that I got. Which is very special to me because this is actually a little side tangent. This is actually my father's ring from when him and my mom got married. My mom passed away in 2019 and he remarried. So he gave me his ring and my mom's ring to use for our wedding. Me and him are actually the same ring size, which worked out. And I had my mom's ring resized for my wife. And then on the inside, we have their dates of when they got married are still there, with our date right next to it. So the reason I got this watch was because everything else I had was silver. I never had a gold ring before, so I needed a gold watch to match it. And I think the AQ230 does it very, very nicely. It's not actually a white dial, which I thought it was. It's actually a gold dial. It's just the way most of the time it reflects, it looks white. But I like this because it gives that dressy feel, but you still get the Casio accuracy, reliability and all of that. And it is still to have water resistance on it, so which is nice. So anytime I'm actually wearing my real wedding ring, which I don't wear it very often just because I don't like to get it messed up, but anytime I am wearing it, you can bet that the AQ230 is on my wrist, just because it matches so well. Moving down, this is one of the first watches I ever bought for myself, and one that I will preach to anyone who wants to hear it about. And that is the MDV 106, the Casio Duro. May it live forever and in infinitum. This is the Batman or Batgirl version, the black on blue. I have had this on all kinds of different straps. I have worn this on a black and white NATO or a blue and white NATO. Currently, this is a blue and white paratrooper strap from CNS watch bands. Very nice and flexible and comfortable. Very feels kind of like a sweatpants for your wrists, very much. Very comfortable, reliable diver. It's the one watch in my collection that I absolutely do not give a shit about wearing it in the pool, the ocean, or anything. It's a hell of a lot of watch for $50. Just any way you cut it. You can mod these. They're good for doing hydro mods, aftermarket sapphire on the crystals, all kinds of good stuff. I like that despite being wide, at a 43 millimeter case width, they're not very thick. So even though they may be big, they don't sit super tall on your wrist, which I really like. The next two watches we're going to look at are actually two that I built myself. So I'll skip one and I'll show you this one first. So this is one of my favorite watches, period. Out of all the watches in my box, this actually probably gets the most wrist time out of all of them. This is kind of like a khaki field homage. It's Seiko based, NH34 or NH38 actually. It's the open heart version because that has no ghost date or anything on it. It's just a simple straight three-hander. I went with like kind of the vintage loomed hands on it. It's a 33 millimeter dial, so a bigger field watch style, 39 millimeter case. This is actually a titanium case that I found on AliExpress. So despite being a little bit bigger than like this 37 millimeter Citizen, it's actually lighter because of the titanium versus stainless steel. And I was very, very pleased with the overall quality of the case when I received it. So this one went together very quickly. I've had all kinds of different straps on this. This is kind of like one of those strap monster cases. I have had, I don't know if I have it over here. I do actually. I have had it on a leather NATO before, for a long time. Recently put it on this green and brown ribbed NATO from CNS, and I'm absolutely loving it. Gives it kind of a little bit more of an outdoorsy feel. Um, Very nice. I wear this more than anything. It's just kind of my, it kind of fits my personal aesthetic of what I wear. So really like that. And that was my first mod build or watch build ever. My second one was this one. Now, I had some problems with this bad boy when I was building it. So this is based off of an SKX 007. And I really got hooked on this red and white aesthetic for it. It kind of became based off of some of the colors that you may see in our Chrono Collective logo. Is actually, where I kind of got some of that color inspiration from. When I first bought this, it came with a flat, flush fit crystal. However, it was installed incorrectly from the factory and it fell out while I was trying to build the watch. And the crystal gasket was installed incorrectly, so it was crimped. So I had to order a new crystal gasket and a new crystal. And when I went for the new shopping for the new crystal, I decided to go with a top hat style crystal. So I like the way it looks. It kind of gives the bezel a very nice, like kind of recessed look, in my opinion. Um, it does make the watch even thicker and taller than it already was, which is then compounded again by the fact that it's on a NATO, which passes under, it's a double pass. So it sits very tall on the wrist, but I still really like it. I went with the 3.8 position crown. It is a white sterile dial, and you'll notice that for both of my watches, I do sterile dials. I don't fuck with that Seiko logo stuff on mod watches. And then I went with red and white Mercedes hands in here as well. And it's really hard to see, but the date wheel on the NH35 is modded as well. Let me see here if I can get a number that's easier to show up. Yeah, there's a number 3. So the letters are red on a white background for that too, to kind of tie everything in. So very much was a color match type build. Solid case back, 100 meters. Very nice watch. I do wear it from time to time. I have a red polo that I wear to work sometimes, and I usually try to pair it with that. And that's something also that if you saw me on a day-to-day basis, you will see that most of these watches, when I wear them, number one, I try to wear all of my watches relatively evenly. Like if I wear this for a while, I'll try something else for a little while and just try to spread the love. But also, I do try to pick certain watches that I feel like will coordinate with outfits more. Like obviously AQ230 with my ring if I'm wearing the real one. If I'm wearing like a black polo and like khaki like ripstop pants or whatever, I'll wear like the Bertucci or the Belova. Or I've even worn the Pagani with that. If I'm wearing any sort of blue, I wear the Duro. Any sort of tan, brown, greens, those can work with these guys. And then this with any sort of red. Moving on to the last 2 watches. This is another special watch for me. So my wife actually bought me 2 watches for my birthday last year. The first one I opened was the Casio, so it was the first. But 5 minutes after that, I opened this, which was another watch that was on my list. Clean this up just a tad. This is a Citizen Eco Drive. It is part of their Garrison lineup. So I really like this because it is a day date. It does the day of the week in both English and Spanish. I like the red and white seconds hand, makes it stand out. And to me, this is a true field watch. The Eco Drive makes it so you absolutely never have to worry about batteries. It's always ready to go. I mean, you can even sit this thing in complete darkness for like 6 months and it's still good to go. The loom on this, some of the best loom out of all of the watches that I own. Citizen has a really nice blue loom color. The sword hands, they have a big, wide loom plots. So this one is really good for nighttime stuff. It's also one of the smaller analog watches that I have. This is a 37 millimeter. Came very close actually to returning this when I first got it, just because I have big, almost 8-inch wrists, and I was like, this may be too small, but it really isn't. I do think that it's perfect for me. It's very comfortable, and it's a nice watch that I know I can just pick it out the case, slap it on, and go, be good to go. I will say the stock strap that this comes on is terrible. It is this canvas with metal grommets in it, and it's just nah. Very recommend getting a new one if you do get a Garrison. It's an 18 millimeter band. This is an Archer watch straps in OD green that I've had it on pretty much since the day I got it, or a few days after. Really love this one. Again, has a sentimental value because it was a gift from my fiance, who is now my wife. So love that one. And I threw this last one in here because, well, there's going to be a bonus one after it, but I threw this last one in here because this is my modded G-Shock. So this is a GA2100. It is the limited edition Chinese porcelain model. You can see on the case back there. So I modded this one with a case from AliExpress. So it gives it kind of that AP offshore vibe with the screws around the bezel. It's got a butterfly clasp, which I have to say actually has some nice perlage in the middle. It's a nice upgrade. It makes it feel a little bit more durable, a little bit more hefty on the top. My only issue with it is it's very top heavy with the rubber strap. So this is actually the watch that you guys will have a chance to win in the 1000 giveaway. This is the G-Shock, where it says G-Shock on the flyer. This is it. So one of you guys will be getting this. I do have the original case and strap for this, the original Chinese porcelain models, which will be coming with the watch to whoever wins. So that'll be a cool little bonus for you guys. It's a great watch. I just kind of fallen out of love with it personally, but I think it will have a nice home with one of our members, whoever gets it. So I wanted to include that in there with that. And now the bonus watch is the one that you may have seen on my wrist. My wife made this one for me, so it means more to me than all of the other ones. She does crochet and knitting, and she decided to crochet me a watch. I don't know why the time is set to 3 o'clock. She just said that was the time she picked. She said that she had to translate this because the pattern was written in Russian. So she had to translate every little part of it to understand what she had to do with it. But it's got a little button, a little purple button on the bottom. So, and I gotta say, very comfortable, extremely comfortable actually, to the point where I've asked her if she would crochet me some actual watch bands. Because yeah, it feels like sweatpants on my wrist. So that's my crochet fake watch, but I love it. And I do have a few other things down here in the bottom of this box because it does have a little tray, extra straps and bands. This is a little watch that my dad gave me. I keep it in the bottom here so it doesn't take up space in from the slots, just because I don't really ever wear this. This is the shitter to end all shitters. It's like, I want to say it's like a Walmart brand quartz watch. Like there's literally no branding on it at all. I think it, maybe like one of their George brands or whatever. But my dad had it for a while, never really wore it, and so he decided just to give it to me. So I opened it up, cleaned up the case a bit, put a new battery in it. So it's kind of that fits that field watch aesthetic. Very small, very thin. But nothing to write home about. Just a little bonus watch that I don't really ever wear. I kind of put this. I have this black Perlon strap that I got from CNS. I really don't like the way it feels. It's a little too stiff and scratchy, so I just threw it on this. I have a NATO for it if I want, and then I have some other straps. Like this is a leather strap that I had for the Citizen, which field watches with leather, specifically single pass or leather NATOs, are such a huge mood. And thank you, Dora, for saying you like my straps. I would take great pride in having nice straps because, in my opinion, a good strap is like getting a new watch because you may be used to it looking a certain way, but you can put it on a new strap and you just saved yourself hundreds of dollars from buying an entirely new watch. And you get the look and feel of a new watch like this. That's that Citizen on leather. And again, this is also CNS. I'll drop a link in chat later, but CNS watch straps is fucking goated. She's over in Sweden. She makes fantastic stuff. But yeah, that is it for my humble little collection, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Anyone have any questions? I want a crochet watch. I can ask my wife if she'll make one for you. You want it black and white? Hey, Carmen. Would you be willing to make another crochet watch for someone if they wanted to pay you for it? What color do they want? Zorro saw the watch that you made for me, was asking if they could get a crochet watch. He wants it black and white. Black and white? I can do that. They don't gotta pay for it. I mean,